be knowing about people. Gotta reach 'em, see it right now.
For the first time in living memory, the guns have gone quiet in Gaza. Hostages that have been held now for over 2 years have just walked free. And for the very first time, not in decades, but perhaps a millennia or two, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob have signed something that might resemble more than just a ceasefire. You have to understand before we start how significant and how impossible it is to reach this point. This is not like anything we've ever seen before. The conflict did not begin in 1948. It didn't begin with the British Mandate and the creation of the State of Israel. The story really begins with the ancient people of Israel and the sands of Canaan, where the people of Israel and the people called the Philistines clashed over the same spot of earth called Gaza.
Want to get it off your chest? You're in the right place. They accuse this show of being run by boobs. Well, let me tell you about us boobs. We're real and we're spectacular. Want politics and fun sprinkled with a lot of laughs? Heard in every state in the Union and 1,000 cities around the world. We just finished 17 years of broadcast excellence. Now in our 18th year. The Dave Weinbaum Show is streaming live all over the world. Good morning, America. It's Friday, December 19th, 2025, and you're locked into the Dave Weinbaum Show, live from 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time. I'm Dave Weinbaum, your unfiltered voice of truth in a world gone crazy. We have a super-duper early scoop that's blowing up bigger than a Hanukkah menorah. Breaking this morning, the Brown University shooter Claudio Neves Valente has been found dead in a New Hampshire storage facility, self-inflicted. The homeless man who lives in the basement of Brown University will receive a $50,000 award for chasing him down and then delivering the goods on him. I've got 4 lawyers, 2 candidates from the Missouri Senate, and I've got J.J. Bradshaw, genius of the Constitution. Okay, 2 candidates from the Missouri Senate will be covering the 15 Jews massacred in Australia, with 40 wounded at a gathering for Hanukkah. Trump is working at warp speed to stop the rot of our fentanyl drug cartels to murdering Americans. Chris Adamo will cover the scourge of Marxism trying to destroy America and the world. Finally, the lawyer to all 1/6ers, pardon or not, to verify the scoop from Jeff Zink, and recently arrested Capitol bomber. Trump announces a 3-day Christmas holiday for Fed workers. I might just do that myself. Get in on that. It's going to be fun. Let's do this together. Call 573-578-2700 to get in on the fun. Okay.
It was in Gaza that Samson, the judge of Israel, was betrayed, captured, blinded, and paraded through the streets as the Philistines mocked him, much like you saw on October 7th. It was in Gaza that he brought the temple down on them. One man against the empire. History has a very long memory in that land. We call it the Gaza Strip today, but it has seen conquerors come and go. The Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Ottomans, the British. And yet, somehow or another, the one rivalry that is from, 2,000, 3,000 years ago remains, the one between the children of Israel and those who dwell along the sea.
Okay, we're here. We're ready to go. We got Bill coming on at 8:10. JJ Bradshaw is here, and he's ready to go. He's in house. Hi, JJ.
Good morning.
Chris Adamo. We have a Jim Avery coming on, a newbie, and Mark McCluskey. Also, we've got JP as a producer. We've got my wife, who may or may not show up today, and we've got who else is there? Oh, we got Rick Henderson out there in Salem doing all the bits and clips. We're going to have a great show today, and I guess we're going to start with my friend. There he. Wait a minute, we got two on. Okay, all right. So, I guess we're going to go twosies with you and Bill. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my first guest, then, Bill Hardwick, platoon leader in Iraq, lawyer, professor, philosopher, state rep, and he's running for the state senate. Hi, how are you today?
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. So I guess I got a double booking. So we're doing this with JJ as well. Okay. So that's all right. We can do that because I got two really big brains in front of me, and then there's JP. So homeless man follows Brown University. So the murderer is spotted and eventually tracked to where he killed himself. The homeless guy living in Brown University basement, an ex-student, he chased the guy down. He chased him down, and then the police didn't do anything, okay? The school didn't do anything, except finally he contacted the police, and they found this guy dead in a storage unit. And the guy who was homeless, he's going to get $50,000. You can't make this stuff up.
Right.
What do you think?
I think that's a political divide to left and right, that the left, maybe our Democrats, want to let homelessness flourish and coddle homelessness and say it's an okay thing that people are on the streets and there's crime being committed. I think just like in Rolla, there's a homeless situation in Rolla. Yeah. You want to get people off the streets, out of the homeless camps, into housing,
sure,
working. If it's a mental health problem or it's a addiction problem, you want to treat that. But homelessness is a problem, and people who don't have a home, who just kind of live in the street. My point is not that all those people are criminals. My point is that fosters environments for crime, and that's not safe for people, right? Just to kind of live in these homeless out there. Yeah. So
there's a problem with that. With that is that a lot of them want to be alone outside. Now, this guy wasn't outside. He was living in the boiler room or something like that,
right,
in the college. All right.
Yeah,
and they get very proprietary over all this stuff, where they're at. Even the ones that are outside, they want to know who's in their area. They become like very proud homeless people. I never understood that.
And there's all kinds of different situations. There's people who they lost their job. They're down on their luck. They're trying to get back on their feet. Right. We want to help those people. There's people that are having struggled with mental illness. Right. Yeah. And that's why they can't get housed. Yeah. You don't want those people on the streets either. Yeah. So it's not good for a community. I'm thinking about Rolla too, just to have a growing homeless population. And it's not the right answer to say we invite homelessness here. This is a place for homelessness. You got to get people off the streets. You got to have the community safe.
Sure.
So that's some common sense.
What's your take on this?
Well, I'll tell you. In 1960 and 62, remember Lyndon Baines Johnson and his Great Society?
Oh, sure.
We opened up the mental institutions and turned the folks loose because it was against their civil rights to lock them up because they were lunatics. And now the children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren of those folks are running amok in our cities everywhere. Yeah. And we haven't bothered to get them any help. We'll offer them a sandwich and a cup of coffee and say, gee, you need a place to live. But in the end, they're still on the street. So there's no good solution to this until we we change our attitude about homelessness and about mental illness.
Well, and then there's a problem with the Reiner family. My goodness.
Yeah.
One of the sons was he was kind of like not like the rest of them. He was in rehab about 15, 16 times. He's in his mid-30s, I think. And he just got mad at his parents and went over and stabbed them both to death.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on that, Bill?
There's a depravity that's happening. Value of life that's going on simultaneously. We're disconnected as human beings. So there's less. You can't do that. You care about people. That's happening. There's the homeless problem that we're talking about, where it's. And I'm not talking about people who need to get on their feet and are kind of transitioning. I'm talking about there's people with mental illness who need help, and we're not helping them, just like was said, because they're on the street. So I think there's a lot to crime. There's a lot to why people are murdering each other, but what we're doing is not working. Just like putting a Band-Aid on it, saying here's a check. We're encouraging that kind of behavior. We're creating a beacon for that kind of behavior. That's not working. Yeah. So I mean, you got to restore the value of life in a society. That's family. That's values. That's churches. That's social structure, right? To say we're not going to murder each other and hurt each other. That's one thing. Then there's an economic aspect and dealing with drugs and poverty. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Then there's people who are suffering from mental illness need to we need to intervene and get them services and get them treatment and not have them sort of degrade and decay in the streets of America.
Now, TikTok, it was announced this morning that TikTok is going to own about 80% by the U.S. I don't know, probably not government, but it's going to be modified to America is what it's going to be. I mean, I think it sounds pretty good to me, but what do you guys think?
Well, I'm not a TikTok guy, so.
Yes, you are.
No,
you are a star of TikTok.
I don't subscribe.
You have been on TikTok thousands and thousands of times.
I don't watch
via
it.
this show.
I understand. I don't watch it.
Can you believe it?
When the Chinese
was it about 37,000? What was it?
23,000.
23,000. Okay, of people looking him up and saying nice things about him. That
just shows you that people have no class at all.
Well, no, these are kids. These are young kids.
Yeah. The point is that when the Chinese had sole control over TikTok, that was used as a national security threat against us. And the U.S. owning that might put some shackles on that, perhaps, but I still don't trust it. I think it's a little too wide open for my conservative redneck taste.
A little too wide. What do you think, Bill?
I don't use TikTok. TikTok's an app I don't use. It's Chinese spyware. TikTok on your phone knows all your text messages, every keystroke. I mean, those terms of use for that app are incredibly invasive. And basically every text message you have in photo goes to China. So, but I have a lot of friends who use TikTok, sure. But when they say
so his face is all over China?
What's that?
So JJ's face is all over China right now?
Well, I guess that's my point too. A lot of people have thought that all the data that China has harvested is just too much to be meaningful. But now AI makes that gigantic, improcessable amount of data meaningful to China, security agencies, whatever, because they can find everything they want about JJ. They can see the recordings anybody took in TikTok around the dance videos. So, that massive amount of data that China's collected, coupled with AI, makes it a lot more dangerous, I think.
Indeed.
Yes. All right. So what about AI then? Let's go back to AI. I know that you are very troubled by AI, and so is JJ. So you're troubled too? I'm not that troubled, quite frankly, because you know what? We're right now controlled, not as much as we were, but we were controlled by the one state. All the people need to live a certain way, kind of thing. The world state, and I feel like we're being very much so invaded by them and our government, who goes along with them to a certain extent.
The potential for misuse is huge, And
Yeah.
we've already proven human nature will misuse it.
Well, we do, and there's a problem with kids who get in there and are convinced to kill themselves. We have that problem with it. But all in all, on a controlled basis, I think I'm getting information from both sides that I can make a decision to reasonably choose one or the other. So I don't know. It's bad. It's good. It's ugly. But so is a bottle of whiskey.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, the reason why I have concerns, two reasons. One, we still don't know exactly what controls the input of information to AI. That's where it's deriving its information from, that it's giving people, saying it's authoritative data. So where is that coming from? In part with that, if you have the wrong, like with our current administration, do I feel better about it? I do, even though I don't know if I can trust everybody that works under President Trump, because I don't think we know everybody's pure intentions. But what if we get the wrong side of the administration, another lefty agenda to come in? That information can then be extremely funneled and, again, jaded once again, because the Dems always control the flow of information.
Right. So we can just assume that everybody is doing this if the Dems take control.
But my concern
they're doing it right now, and they don't have control.
My concern is that people look at AI and just assume it's correct no matter what.
Well, sure. And a lot of people on the left think that everything Biden did and his administration did was correct. Right. Now, it's been a while, and we know that's not true. So why can't we have brains enough to show that we know that Trump isn't going to do everything right, but we know what he's done that's right?
Because there are still too many people that rely on everybody else to give them their information instead of doing their own homework.
Well, those people did not elect Donald Trump against Kamala. Okay, those people overwhelmingly went for Trump, and if he's allowed to place his big beautiful bill as it ought to be,
well,
we're gonna see that.
I guess my argument would be is, do we know for sure that the people that just take AI to be authoritative, or any news source for that matter, did they actually vote for Trump? Are they the ones that voted for Kamala? I think it's us free thinkers are the ones that actually voted for Trump. Not
well, there's got to be a lot to Trump's victory, because he got every minority you could think of in terms of switching over to him, including Jews, including Catholics, Christians, blacks, Mexicans. It was a blowout. All the swing states.
Thankfully.
So what I say is that we have something in there in our government that is controlling everybody. What do you think, Bill?
Okay. If you give me a few minutes, I'll
go ahead.
So AI is one of the big topics that's going to happen in the Missouri legislature next year.
Yeah.
My colleagues have filed lots of bills on AI, and there are two major themes that address it. So one is the deep fake. And if you can, if the open source AI, you could take my face and you can make me say and do almost any kind of thing. And the more advanced AI can do that at even more advanced level. In just a few seconds, you can take a person and you can make them be given a speech. You can change their environment. You could make a almost indistinguishable from fact movie of them doing a criminal act, right?
Sure.
So part of the legislature, obviously politicians are concerned about that, because a lot of people think this next campaign cycle will be the first big one where there's deep fakes, there's AI making people say things they're not saying. The other one is AI in healthcare. And there's some bills particularly on mental health, right? That AI is not giving you your mental health advice and taking you down a certain road. And that's kind of based on a couple things, which is some of the young people who committed suicide after talking to those AI platforms, and the 988, which infamously had just the AI response to people who are suicidal calling in Missouri. So that's a problem that needs to be addressed too. I did some stuff with some doctors, some medical school people a few weeks ago talking about AI. And one of the concerns I raised in that meeting was that, we've used AI before to say, okay, help us identify, is this cancerous? Help us identify if we use this course of treatment, how do we model that? Help us cure cancer, cure this disease. I think those are positive applications that we could use, right? But there's something else we don't think about, which something different than AI, than being in Google, is the AI now we use can make inferences, right? it can make decisions. So when you go into the doctor's office, what's happening now, and it's going to happen more and more in doctor's offices, is you'll talk to your doctor. The AI will record you. It'll create your notes. It'll generate a course of treatment.
Right.
It'll make inferences for the doctor. So are we losing kind of that human touch? Are we losing the doctor making decisions? Are we losing a human being who's unique in healthcare?
We've already lost the doctors to make decisions. They lost themselves.
Yeah,
they
but I
lost
think
themselves in COVID.
Well, that's true, and I think
And
that
they-
right
they
now,
all did it, just about all, not and the ones that didn't go along with the program, they fired them.
yeah, that's right.
They
So there's already
deactivated
a
them.
diminishing of the role.
So
of
I think and there should be something that holds them accountable for making us take those violent shots that killed millions and millions of people, a lot of them American. What's being done with that?
From my point of view,
Yes.
so I worked on when the National Defense Authorization Act took out the requirement for military personnel to take the COVID vaccine. That was something I worked on. That was something I pushed forward, tried to word. I thought that was important. There's bill. I just co-sponsored a bill today that pediatricians couldn't deny children, medical care if they refuse to take the COVID vaccine or be vaccinated. Because I think all vaccines are kind of trending toward mRNA vaccines now. They're
Yes.
not. They're not the vaccines of our childhood. The mRNA is starting to become the pervasive technology. So, and if you go to your pediatrician, the insurance company, the pharmaceutical company want certain things. If the parent makes a decision contrary to that, the pediatrician might drop them. So I co-sponsored a bill on that. I think there needs to be reckoning. I think that Fauci and Pfizer should be held accountable, civilly, criminal, maybe in some cases with Fauci, what he did. And I think that, I think that's
excuse me, this is mass, in my opinion, this is mass murder.
Yeah.
This is murder on a level no one has ever seen since the Holocaust. Okay, and more. So I mean, we lived through the times, and we sort of have been educated. Oh, well, it's a good thing, and now we know, based on the VAERS reports and all the other reports coming in now from HHS, that this stuff is very culpable to murdering people.
As I'm running and doing my career politics, the issue of that mRNA in the COVID shot and more shots and more stuff comes up a lot. And that's an issue that everybody's asking me, I'm telling them won't compromise on. People are like, hey, we want to support you. We want to donate to you. Will you give on the mRNA thing? No, I can't do that. Informed consent and what happened. We can never repeat what happened. We have to stop what's happening. And we have to make sure that there's this uncompromisable value that people get to say no to stuff. They get to say no to these technologies that are being tried to push in their body. That's critically important to me. And if I compromise on that, I don't know what I'm doing in the legislature, doing office, because because right now it's that gene therapy technology. It's becoming more ubiquitous. Eventually, it's going to be microchipping technology. Eventually going to be all kinds of stuff. And we just need people to have the right to say no to it. That's really important to me.
And JJ, how many doctors who happen to be congressmen and women and also senators are being paid or contributed to by the pharma companies?
Oh, a whole bunch. Let me tell you, on a federal level, our government does very little well. They tend to have largesse. They spend a lot of money for not much result. And the COVID is a pretty good example of that. This was rushed through without clinical trials. A few folks looking at a test tube said, yeah, this will work. And our government bought that hook, line, and sinker. Folks like Fauci and whatever the ladies that was his running mate on that thing. They managed to, and Big Pharma, of course, managed to convince our federal government that the jab was necessary. My own doctor said the jab is necessary. Of course, he was going on in the best information that he had, which proved to be paid for propaganda by Big Pharma. Now, Moderna and Pfizer made a fortune on this.
Are you a doctor, by the way?
I'm not. I'm
not a doctor
I'm
either.
an engineer.
And I got a friend that comes on the show occasionally. He's not a doctor. He's a guy that was fired from being a contractor for the Army and or Air Force, something like that, and because he wouldn't take the shot, and he went to the embalmers, and he said, "Have you noticed anything different these days?" And wow. Right at first, now they were very reluctant. They were very scared to release the information. Now they're backing him, and what happened was all these white fibrous blood clots were filling bodies, and no one had ever seen these before. And this was around 1921. I mean 2021. And so the people that were dying out of this thing and continue to die from this are not being stopped. Babies that are getting this shot with other shots involved too. They're giving it to babies. It's crazy.
The end of the Biden administration, beginning of the first Trump administration, our federal government sold us a bill of goods and shoved it down our throats.
Oh, yeah.
There was no time that you could look at the network news and not find somebody talking about COVID and taking the jab. And it was all positive. If you look at the spin that Fauci put out, this is the best thing since sliced bread. This will save your life. You will not be on a ventilator, blah, 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 blah. Our federal government shoved that down our throats. And as a result of that, I don't much trust them.
I don't trust any doctors. I mean, I trust them to the extent that I can have a conversation with them and discuss things. But when they're recommending stuff and I hear the kind of crap they're telling me, I always ask them, hey, what do you think of the VAERS report? And almost every single one of them says, what's that? I mean, here I'm not a doctor. And I knew this in 21 when I saw the numbers jump. And that only represents 1% of the people that were taking the shots.
Dave, I read all the time. I'm a word junkie. Can't stay away from books. And when you read about this stuff and you look at various sources, you realize that so much of that's being handed to us is propaganda.
Sure.
Plain and simple. It's not quite as bad with the Republicans as it was with the Democrats, but let's lay the blame where it belongs. The Republicans are guilty of this as well. You, as a consumer of information, now have the onus put on you that you got to check 2 sources, 3 sources, 4 sources to try to find out what is wheat and what is chaff. And what a shame that is. And I blame part of that on AI, and I blame part of that on folks that are willing to parrot propaganda.
Bill.
Yeah, and I agree with that. My trust level for the medical establishment and pharmaceutical companies plummeted after COVID. It made me question a whole bunch more things. I was talking to my son last night. We were talking about medical technologies and different shots. And I kind of said, hey, your body's designed to do certain things. It's designed to move. It's designed to walk. It's designed to develop immunity, right? It's designed to respirate. Like your body's made to do certain things. Whenever we are introducing things to the body that we're making it do things it's not designed to do, we didn't know. We don't know what that's going to do to the body. We know now what mRNA making you create the spike protein does to you. It creates those clots. It causes myocarditis. It modulates your immune system in unintended ways. But, we didn't know that. And we don't know when we're doing things the body's not designed to do what happens. So it's arrogance, I think, when something gets invented, it's not tested. There's no, decade-long track record for it. It doesn't actually make sense functionally, what they're saying it would do. And then it's forced upon everybody at the threat of you'll lose your job, you'll lose your livelihood, you'll be a pariah in society.
Well, it's government enforced. It's government enforced
on everybody. It's a profit center for the medical companies.
Yeah.
And that's, and I want to go, I want to start sending clips of me in committee on my testimony on the COVID vaccine and bills I had. And in one committee, somebody said, what if it did cause immunity? What if it did, protect you from getting really sick? And I said, I think it was terrible. But I said, even if it was the greatest thing in the world, I still don't think the government should force anybody to take it.
Right. It's very unconstitutional, isn't it?
I would think so.
Yes, the constitutional expert right there. So, okay, let me see what else.
Let's see, that
let's
falls as life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, right?
yes.
Yeah, there
That's
goes
right.
your life and your liberty.
Well, yeah, you
and
get fired,
you're unhappy as a
and
result.
you're not happy about
It's a trifecta.
It's very, very much against the law of the land, so to speak. Let's talk about your military history, Mr. Hardwick, or should I say, is it Captain Hardwick? Platoon leader Hardwick?
Lieutenant Colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel.
But I'm here as a state rep today, my official capacity state rep. Yeah.
Well, we got your buddy
Lieutenant
coming on the show too,
Who's that?
Avery.
Oh,
Jim
Jim is
Avery.
coming on today.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, yeah. When I met Jim, I was a captain, so he'll tell that story where he said, "What's your first name?" And I said, "My first name's Captain, Lieutenant." And he'll tell that story, but that's not exactly how it went down. But Jim tells that story a lot.
Yeah. So you were both in Iraq, right?
Jim and I were in Iraq at the same time. Jim just got back from Afghanistan, and then we trained together, and we did like some SED together, and we, and then
Now,
Jim.
are you guys the same age?
Jim is Jim's old enough to be my father, I think.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Just tell him that when he comes. No, Jim is a little older than me.
Was he about 50?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, he went back after Iraq, and he went. Where did he go? He went after the Twin Towers. He went to Afghanistan, right?
Yeah. He went to Iraq and he went to Afghanistan. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's something. You guys are terrific.
Jim's a good guy.
Yeah.
Jim's gonna win his race, and Jim's gonna be really good for our state, I think.
No, he's gonna fly his plane here.
He's flying down to Raleigh today?
I think so.
Good for him. He doesn't live that far away. He's just like an hour and a half of the road.
Oh, he's in St. Louis. Yeah.
Pacific, I think, yeah.
He told me, I think it was, well, maybe it's just his phone number says Ledoux, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's got an office up there. But yeah, Jim's a good guy.
And he's a lawyer. Why do you all become lawyers?
I don't know. I became a lawyer because I couldn't stand lawyers. Just kidding. I became a lawyer because I didn't want to be disarmed in the world, basically.
Yeah.
That's the reason I became a soldier. I didn't want to be ill-equipped to face the world.
Okay, so you went there and really got your education as to what it would be to survive fairly in any country.
Think about, as a soldier, right? You're fighting for your life, and you learn how to defend yourself, and you learn how to kill, and you learn how to survive, and you learn how to do first aid and communicate and survive in the woods. And then as a lawyer, you learn how to deal with every institution that falls back to the law.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you kick me off here?
Am I going to kick you off?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to kick you off? You know what happened? I know what happened. I think I sent you a 940.
You did.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're not mad.
Of course not.
Okay, because I was wondering for a minute, did I get him first? My mind is gone.
So JJ was blocked for 940, and I was blocked for this hour. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. Well, this is great. You stay. Stay. Okay, you may go, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it did I have a joke for you guys?
I'm ready for it.
Okay, how do you fillet a frog?
I have no idea.
Ribbit.
Huh?
Ribbit.
Ribbit. Tell me when you get this, Bill.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it sinks in. How do you fillet a frog?
Yeah.
You rip it?
Ribbit.
Yeah.
Ribbit. That was good. Come on.
That deserved.
Yeah, already. I don't know why I depend on you to do that. And, you have another thing there, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah. Good talking with you, Bill.
What are you bastard?
Okay. All right. You guys you're staying and you're leaving. You have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Dave. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you guys. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. Okay. So, let's see. What else you got from me, JJ?
Lisa Ann is here, and she looks Christmassy.
Yeah.
So, ho, 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 happy Christmas to you. What else do I have for you?
Yes.
I got a bunch of stuff.
A bunch.
Yeah, let's just start. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about health care for a minute.
Okay.
Our House of Representatives voted 216 to 211 on a Republican-sponsored health care bill, which, if you recall, Donald J. Trump said, yeah, we're going to give some subsidies direct to the citizens and let them buy their own health care.
Exactly.
So we've gotten, at least from the House of Representatives, a thumbs up on that idea. Details yet to come. There was no vote taken on the Obamacare extensions. In fact, it's going to be put off till the end of the year. The Dems are howling over that because they had gotten an assurance from Mike Johnson that would be voted on before Congress went into recess. You remember all of that, right?
Yes.
The big fight over the continuing resolution. Now, since this is an opinion show, I'll give you my opinion. The extension of the Affordable Care Act is a travesty and should never happen.
Yeah, it should have never happened in the first place.
Should not have.
Right.
It is and was a giveaway to the insurance companies.
Right.
We talked about this last Friday, that we give big subsidies to the insurance companies. They turn around and finance the Democrats politicking to stay in office. And this thing just goes in this circle, and it's your money that's passing hands here. So at least the vote on that has been put off. And I hope it fails. I hope this dies a quiet death.
Well, I do too, and that's going to be a big decision by the Senate. And I believe you have, on both sides, you've got one or two Republicans, 4 Republicans that are for continuation of Obamacare
subsidies.
For it's they want 3 years, and we're offering them 2.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, let's offer them none.
Well, that's the point.
This thing is a travesty.
It sure is.
It is siphoning your tax dollars away for political purposes.
Yeah.
It was never intended to do that.
Okay.
Now, if you recall, Obama, he even said this publicly, finally, towards the end of his term, that he's all for single payer. He wants the government to run health care, period. He couldn't get that. Yeah. He couldn't get that through a Democrat Congress. If you remember, it was a Democrat-controlled Nancy Pelosi Congress back then, and couldn't even get it done with them because it's so egregious and so wasteful.
Yep.
So we ended up with the Affordable Care Act, which is, of course, not affordable for anyone. So let's pray, if we're going to pray, that dies a quiet death, and that the Republicans come up with something that is at least reasonable.
Well, I think Trump is out there campaigning right now, and there's a reason for that. And that's because, as we're talking about how smart is American Republic, not the Republican, but the whole United States, how smart are the people? Do they not know what's coming for them, which is all good stuff for the most part? I mean, they seem to forget who and how Trump operates, and they also forgot the 143-day shutdown that Schumer and his friends did to the legislation, and therefore it stopped all the progress in that bill, which is a very good bill for the average American.
You asked if the man on the street understands what good Trump is doing for him.
Yes.
If they're watching the network news, no, they're getting propaganda from the left-wing side of this thing.
Sure they are.
And some of these folks aren't interested in reading, aren't interested in ferreting out what's actually fact and what's fiction. And we're being fed quite a large batch of fiction in the network news. It's leftist. I mean, take a look at CNN. Take a look at MSNBC. It's all tilted left. And as an aside to that, I don't know if you've been watching the series Landman, but the last episode of that, Tommy, who is the lead character, lambasted the folks on The View. If you haven't watched it, it's a great segment. He's talking to his elderly father who didn't know what The View was, and Tommy gave him a 2-paragraph blast off of rich people criticizing rich people and crazy leftist stuff, by all means, look this thing up.
Wait a minute. Is this a TV show?
It is. It's a series. Yeah,
it's a
called
series.
Landman.
Okay.
And Sheridan, who writes that thing and produces it, really gave Tommy some good lines. He blasted The View. And the reason I brought The View up is because if you're looking for left wing, tune them in.
Yeah.
That is the essence of left wing.
Okay.
They criticize anything Trump, anything conservative, anything real, anything constitutional. They are far left Marxist.
Great.
And I can only stand about 5 minutes of this show before I want to slip my wrists. It's just horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you watched The View?
Oh, The View. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dave.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's hard to watch, quite frankly.
Well,
it's
it is.
sickening.
It will lower your
CNN
IQ.
is somebody got into my restaurant yesterday in Rolla, and they stole the remote and left it on CNN. I had a hissy fit. My son's saying, "We don't need a TV. We don't need a TV." I said, "I want a TV. Dang it!"
On Fox News or the Weather
And so we
Channel
found another remote, but somebody actually reached back and took the remote, and we don't know where it is, but we had another remote there, and we fixed it, and we put it back on Fox.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
McDonald's gave me crap about it one time. I says, "Excuse me, but they wanted a local station." I said, "We don't have a local station."
Have one.
I said, "There's another TV. They can play anything they want on that. This TV is going to be for Fox." They didn't like the answer, but I don't care.
FCC wise, local is St. Louis for us.
Yes.
And local is 3 left-wing stations.
Exactly.
Who the hell wants to watch that stuff? Not me.
Not around here.
So Fox would be
Not
fine.
around here, and a lot less now. Do you know that CNN is on for sale? It's for sale.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's overpriced.
Well, you know what? That would be that for somebody who's a little younger than I am. That would be quite an opportunity. To go in there and straighten it out. I think CBS had hired some further to the right people than they had.
Yeah, very much.
And it's people don't want to listen to garbage all the time. Look, not everybody knows it's garbage, but if you give it the slightest look on other channels, you'll see there's a lot more truth in it. Not all the time, but there's a good portion of the time that you're looking at the truth.
You got to choose your sources,
and you got to choose your sources and choose what do you think about those stories, and check other other like Grok or AI, and see what the other opinions are.
Yes. If I see something on the network news, I go to Newsmax.
Yeah.
I go to Breitbart.
Yeah.
I go to any of these that are more or less independent.
Right.
And maybe get some facts out of that and try to balance that. Will I accept what occurs on the network news and just take it hook, line, and sinker? Not a chance.
Yeah.
I don't trust them. I do not trust them.
Sure.
They have proven to me again and again and again that they lie.
All right, we're going to take a break right now, and we're going to come back with, as you mentioned, the leaning left, the baby deus, and I want a message from the rabbi, which we have. You know about that, right? Okay. We're going to play that too. Okay?
Your home is your castle. You don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments. That's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our #1 goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Honey, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
It looks like you're filling up a swimming pool.
Yep, I'm filling up a swimming pool.
In our living room?
How else am I going to watch the game and stay cool?
If your AC is on the fritz, call Hartley's Climate Control. Hartley's is the area's best in HVAC repairs, installs, and maintenance. Knowledgeable, honest, and dependable. Serving Rolla and the surrounding areas for commercial or residential needs. Hartley's Climate Control. Community born, community raised, community serving.
Call Hartley's Climate Control today at 573-368-3163.
Never be too coy to tell your friends and family about Koi Sushi and Hibachi. Celebrate the best Chinese-Japanese restaurant in the Midwest. Call 573-426-5551 to make a reservation or order takeout. Locally owned, 1808 North Bishop, Rolla, Missouri.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is two words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Merrell's Quarry and Asphalt, 40 years serving cities, counties, and everyday businesses with driveways for people who live and work in our little piece of heaven right smack dab in the middle of America. Call 573-578-9101 for your free estimate of rocking, rolling, paving, driveways, sealing, and striping too. That's 573-578-9101 for your free estimate.
Your home is your castle, you don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments, that's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our number one goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
At your locally owned Price Chopper, our standards are high because we know yours are. See for yourself what an incredible fresh selection of grocery items we have in store. Talk to our expert meat associates about what you're looking for. They're happy to meet any special requests like custom cuts, or see our expert produce associates on how to pick out the best fruits and vegetables. Quality in the deli means fresh, full flavor, and always delicious. If you're craving fresh baked goodness, we have that too. You can expect the best selection and the best value while interacting with our friendly and knowledgeable employees. You can find what you're looking for fast and easily at the best prices at Price Chopper. Fresh savings every day. A-Car Real Estate, where experience matters. 532 million sold since 2003, the number one sales volume in Phelps County. As a client for decades, I can say they are the best in mid-Missouri. Call 573-368-7355. That's 573-368-7355 for the best real estate experience you'll ever have.
Gotta reach 'em, see it right now.
Insurance going up like crazy? Daniel and Henry Insurance is one of the largest private insurance companies in the world. Richard Boyette, 314-444-5011. He's my guy at Daniel and Henry for 10 years. Business or personal, call Richard at 314-444-5011. He's the best.
Maybe it's for a kitchen you've always wanted. Maybe it's just to have a little extra room. Whatever the reason you're considering a new home loan, it's good to know that Town & Country Bank will guide you in the right direction. Our experienced local lenders are here to help you with a new home construction, remodeling projects, and fixed and adjustable rate home loans. You can even start the process online by clicking Online Mortgage Center at tcbanks.com. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Americans are not struggling. You know, this is the worst platform. Who put this stage up here? This is the worst. The freaking place is falling down. I noticed it keeps tilting further left. like too many other things. But Americans are not struggling. You know, this is the worst platform. Who put this stage up here? This is the worst. The freaking place is falling down. I noticed it keeps tilting further left. Like too many other things.
I'll tell you what, click on his face area and see if that'll get him. If not, then we've got a bad one.
Yeah, for some reason it is.
Well, okay, well
There's
maybe
another way I can try to do it.
Okay, well I'll talk to JJ while you're fooling around with that. So what else you got? You got other things for me too.
I do.
Yes.
As are most news weeks, this one's been full. It's been so full.
Oh.
And picking out what's relevant and what's not is becoming difficult for me. Maybe it's because I'm old, but I got a little something for you here.
Yeah.
The Defense Authorization Bill was up in the Senate and was voted 77-20 to pass. What that does is give money to our military to make sure our troops get paid, new equipment, maintenance on old equipment, and so forth. The fact that passed the Senate 77-20 suggests to me that there actually are some senators, Democrats included, who do have the best interest of the country at heart. And a strong military is the best deterrent you're going to have in the world. So what that told me was that there actually are some Democrats that have some sense. Now, are they anti-Trumpers? Yeah. Are they never-Trumpers? Yeah, they're lunatics. But at least they voted to fund the military. It's a good thing. Now, we also have $1,776.
Right.
1776, one of my
What
favorite.
is that? What is that? Go back to.
One of my favorite numbers. I'm way out of my long
history. You were about born a couple years before that.
I was there.
Yeah.
And 1776 given to our active duty and some reserve military. There are actually 1,450,000 active duty military in our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force. So a little bonus for those folks. I think that will improve morale greatly.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's already getting rid of DEI and all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like transgender guys, because they're transgender and or gay, they're going to be running a ship before somebody that's qualified or an airplane.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy stuff.
Dave, I hang with shooters. I'm a shooter.
Yeah.
And a number of these folks are either active duty military, reserve, or veterans. And uniformly, they said Barack Obama, worst commander-in-chief we ever had, until we ended up with Joe Biden. Worst commander-in-chief we ever had. Now you come to this guy with the MAGA hat on.
Yeah.
Best commander-in-chief we've ever had.
Amazing.
Because he stripped all the BS back out of the military, the stuff that was thrust on these people. Now, these folks are patriots, okay? They signed up. Ours is a voluntary force. There is no draft.
Yeah, and they risk their lives in this.
They are here.
This is incredible.
They want to be,
and they do it as a family. They grow up and they go into the Army. They're 17.
Yep.
Some of them come back. Some of them don't.
The point there is, though, this commander-in-chief has got their backs, and the past two have not.
And him going in a conflict is a lot different than the Bushes.
Oh yeah.
Than Lyndon Johnson and anyone else that has sent people over there really in a wrong way.
We have had wars that lasted for decades for one reason only. We weren't trying to win them. Our military folks were. the politicians and the defense departments and the contractors
what were they doing?
They're making a whole lot of money.
Bingo.
They have a vested interest to make this last as long
and
as
who
possible.
called? Which president called that?
Well, it was Dwight David Eisenhower called the military-industrial complex.
Exactly.
But this guy, the guy with the MAGA hat over here, is a no BS sort of guy.
Guy behind me, by the way.
He tells the military, what's it going to take for you to go in and win this? Okay, here it is. Go take care of it. If you want an example of that, look at the B-2 bombing of Iran.
Sure.
Wiped out their nuclear facilities.
Wow.
Told them that we might be doing this in a few days and did it the next morning.
Yeah. No casualties.
Zero
casualties. And from what we understand, total destruction.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can build it back, but.
Well, yeah, but that's going to take decades. And by then, they will have had a revolution and will no longer be what they
Sure.
So I think this commander-in-chief, possibly the best one we've had in my lifetime, and I've had a pretty long lifetime. So, my hat's off to you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about marijuana for a minute.
Okay.
This is near and dear to me. I don't take marijuana, but
I wasn't asking.
That is being, by executive order, moved from a Schedule 1 drug to a Schedule 3. What does that mean? A Schedule 1 drug is opioids, heroin, pretty serious, awful stuff. Marijuana really shouldn't ever have been in that schedule anyway. Schedule 3 is something more like anabolic steroids, some other less noxious stuff. Now, how does that affect me? I'm licensed in the state of Missouri. I'm licensed at a federal level. I can't use this stuff ever as long as it is illegal. Wouldn't do it anyway. My God, I have enough trouble coping with reality without changing reality. I won't be doing that. But just as a personal note, in the 60s when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, pot was there. You had to smoke a bale of it to ever get off. Now they've got this stuff that is so potent you even stand next to it. Yeah. And it's causing some problems.
It's different.
It is causing serious psychiatric problems amongst those who use it regularly.
Sure.
And now that it's been legalized in Missouri, there are those who use it regularly. It concerns me, and I guess I'm a critic of it. I won't ever partake in that. But those that do, I mean, you walk into a store and you look, you can tell the guy that's high. And he ain't all there. He might be having a hell of a good time inside of his head, but he ain't all there.
There's variations of high.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't recognize it.
But the point, though, my point that I'm trying to make is that moving it from Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3, probably a good move, but legalizing it at all was a bad move.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sport gambling in Missouri, which
but Trump did this, and he did it as a way to study it.
Yeah. This opens up the possibility of funding to study it.
Sure.
Okay, that's the excuse they're using. I'll go with that. That's fine.
Or it's a lame way of trying to get the young vote.
Well, maybe, but do you really want the stoner vote? Do you?
I'd want any vote. You're going to turn down votes now?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I would prefer the
Don't
people.
vote for me because I killed all the marijuana. No, it doesn't work that way.
I would prefer people that vote be aware and be involved.
Well, you can get their vote and then convince them after you get elected.
Nah. Okay. we agree to disagree.
All right.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, what's she doing these days anyways?
This is a woman who I have disliked for decades.
Yeah.
She is just nasty. And Nancy Pelosi and her husband apparently are the most brilliant stock traders that have ever existed on this earth.
Yeah.
She beat the Standard & Poor's by 200%.
Yeah.
She beat AI by 130%.
And when she came in, did she have a lot of money?
No.
Wow.
She wasn't rich. She was wealthy. But
wow. She must have was there AI back then?
No.
No.
What this is insider trading, okay?
Yeah.
Nancy is on was on committees. They had all of this classified information.
Yeah.
She gave that information to her husband and her stockbroker, and they made a fortune.
Yeah.
They absolutely made a fortune.
This sounds like somebody else. Wait.
Yeah, not Nancy, is it?
Adam Schiff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Wait a minute.
I was just thinking of him too.
Adam
Actually,
Schiff as another. The point is, Martha Stewart did this in a much, much lower level and went to prison for it.
Now wait a minute. Now what was her insider move? Somebody called her and said you ought to get into this, and it was nothing.
It was nothing.
Okay, it was a political hanging.
Is a hit job
right there.
I think they actually put her in for lying under oath. I think is what they claim.
Well, okay.
Who knows? It's hard to know.
If we're talking Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff, lying under oath is standard.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Well, if you put the Democrats in a room, all of them right now, how many? In fact, you need to put on the opossum.
Oh,
okay. But if you get the Democrats in a room right now, they'll stare you in the face, and you'll ask them that same question: how many of you have cheated by being in a committee where something is going, a stock is going to go up and not go get it?
And everyone is going to say.
And here's what they'll do. Here's what they'll do. I got it. JP.
Now, quick disclaimer.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's an issue with Facebook Reels because none of Moshe's is working. So we'll see if it's just with his page. I'm going to try. Oh no,
I don't think it's just with. I think it's just with his page.
Let's hope so. So we're going to try to see if this is going to work.
I think it's probably intentional too.
Might be shadow.
Watch, Democrats. Watch this. Do it. Boom! Look at that! All the Democrats.
You see that?
They're not moving. They're not moving an end. They don't want to answer the question. Do it again. I watch. Boom! Oh, look at that! It's incredible.
You see that? Oh, every single one.
Everyone's an innocent man. Everyone.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Just ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do that crime.
Yeah.
Overwhelming evidence, but no, that was a frame job.
Yeah, and see if it works on his page. By the way.
That's what I was.
Okay.
That's how I was trying to do it.
And something's wrong. And I think they took it off.
Working now, so
we got it.
Okay, let's do that then.
I'm going to present this real
quick
because this
is really good from the rabbi.
Oh, Rabbi Moshe is so good.
Yeah. What? Listen to this.
Let me go and make this full size so everybody can.
Yeah, and you got to get the.
There's a powerful Hebrew word in our parsha this week that can really reshape how we view challenges in our lives. And that is the word vayitnaker. Means he hid himself or he disguised himself. And when Joseph sees his brothers after many years for the very first time, he doesn't reveal who he is right away. He disguises his identity. But why? Joseph wasn't angry. He wasn't being vengeful. He was creating space for growth and for transformation. Sometimes in life, truth is so powerful, you have to reveal it very slowly. And his brothers, they weren't ready for it yet. So he was patient and he had purpose. There are many moments where we can feel hidden from others, even from ourselves. There are times that we have to disguise ourselves in full light until the moment is just right. This Hebrew word, vayitnaker, hiddenness, teaches us that it can serve a very special and holy purpose. During the pain and uncertainty of Joseph's life, he realized that those moments weren't wasted. They were a setup. He went from the prison to the palace. And that reminds us that sometimes, even in the depth of the darkness of our lives, there's a greater story being written. Sometimes we have to hold back to move forward. The light is coming. You just got to hold on.
What a great idea.
Pretty astute, isn't it?
Yeah, victories often occur when you see no way to succeed, but refuse to give up anyway. Now, that's mine.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of them like that, and I had never heard that before, but that's enlightening because I kind of try to live that way. And I know when I seem to know or have been lucky enough to know when to withdraw, when to sit back for a while and figure out what's going on. And, sometimes it's years, and when to strike when I feel like the time is right. And so it's not based on fear. It's not based on, it's based on a level of enlightenment to have the confidence of when to win, when to try to win, versus knowing you're going to lose.
His is based on faith.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. You talking about the rabbi?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, sure. Sounding good, looking good. Go team. Hey, let's do the rest of these.
Hello, Pastor Pat.
Ray Maddox, your buddy over there. Good morning from Oklahoma.
Morning, Roy.
Okay. Kathy Maddox, good morning, Grandpa Jeff. Jeff, they call you Jeff?
Well,
I know.
She's my granddaughter. She can call me whatever she wants.
Well, that's good. Thank you, Katie. It's Katie. I think I said Kathy. All right. All right. So if you want to call the show, 573-578-2700. Or
you can reach us through comment on Facebook, X, YouTube, and on Rumble.
Okay, great. All right. So let's see what else we got. What else do you have?
Let's talk about the Walk of Fame for a moment.
Yes.
In the White House, there is a series of previous presidents' photographs.
Oh, yeah.
And, that has always been held with some reverence.
Yeah.
Only nice things were said about those presidents.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no kidding. Donald Trump is bombastic and outspoken and fairly crude, and he put up bronze plaques underneath these guys. And I don't recall the source, but somebody read all that stuff and transcribed it and published it. And if you go way back, these are all revenant's the wrong word. They're very complimentary to the presidents until you
respectful.
Until you get to Obama, Biden has got a picture of the auto pen up there, and and Trump and Trump.
How obvious and how fortunate that somebody would have the balls to do that. Excuse my language.
He is bombastic. He is crude, and he is right on target. So if you get a chance, read this stuff. It is so good. I've got a couple of quotes that I wrote down from this stuff to give you a little taste of what Donald J. Trump actually had to say.
Oh, and he has by the way, do you know that he's eliminated all the auto pens that were signed?
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, by executive order. And the Congress is looking into this to find out if this is actually legal. Now, it's going to come up to the Supreme Court at some point. You know how it is. The litigation happens, bang, 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 bang.
Well, I don't think they want this. The Democrats are in a bind because these auto pens that he did were vicious ways to do lawfare, to set the DOJ and the FBI on you without proper cause.
How about that? And the fact,
and you're gonna want to officiate that.
What about the pardons that were signed, possibly with no knowledge of Joe Biden? Does that make those things constitutional? No, they're illegal. So Joe Dalton just came in. Welcome. Glad
Joe
you're
Dalton.
here. And
Joe Dalton.
Good grief, he looks like he brought a fruitcake.
Oh,
and that will add to the 3 fruitcakes that are right here.
Hey!
Okay.
Speak for yourself.
I'll bring this up, the Wall of Fame, the quotations, and then I will bail, and Joe will take over.
Okay.
Specifically, Obama, Biden, and Clinton. Okay.
Yeah.
Biden. Quote, Sleepy Joe was by far the worst president in American history, end quote. This is cast in bronze underneath the picture of the auto pen, okay? Obama, quote, one of the most divisive political figures in U.S. history, end quote.
I would say so, yeah.
I agree.
And he had a lot to do with Biden.
Cast in bronze underneath his photograph. We're talking permanent stuff here now. If a Democrat ever gets back in, that stuff's got to go.
Of course.
But by all means, read this stuff. It's
and
really
wait till they see what they do to Trump.
He also mentioned, quote, the Unaffordable Care Act, end quote.
Right.
Okay, and in 2016, President Clinton's wife, Hillary, lost to Donald J. Trump, end quote. Now, just between you and me, Hillary was the worst candidate at that time to ever occur.
Yeah.
Now, since we have had worse candidate, but this stuff is cast in bronze on the Hall of Fame in the White House. Donald J. Trump did that.
Yeah.
It's tongue-in-cheek. It's sarcastic. It's so funny.
But
and you need to read it.
It gets votes, I believe, and it gets votes despite what we think about. People like the truth. Once they figure out that's the truth, most of them like it.
Yeah,
it's the truth, and it's sarcastic, but it's true.
Yeah.
So how do you say, oh well, that didn't happen? You can't say that.
You can't.
You can call Trump whatever you want to, but he's coming out with stuff that is true.
So much of this stuff has been taped.
Yeah.
This stuff is recorded. You cannot possibly deny that.
Exactly.
And so much of this stuff is recorded by independent folks with a cell phone. You can't fake that.
And did you see his deal with the Kennedy Center?
Yes.
Now it's the Trump Kennedy Center, and everybody's crazy about it. Everybody's crazy against and crazy for.
Yeah, the Kennedy family is
How do you
having
like
kittens
that?
over this thing.
Yeah, well,
and I'm sure that he did that just to poke at him.
Why? He's got his HHS guy, Bobby there. So I think they get along. I don't know.
Bobby.
All right. Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it for a great warrior and a terrific person who came in, and I mixed me up, which is easy to do these days. But I thought he was in at 8:40, and he's showing here on time. Then I'm wondering what Bill was doing out there. He was here at the right time. Okay, well, you know what? We had a lot of fun, I thought.
Not bad.
And let's hear it for John Jeffrey Bradshaw.
Thank you, Dave.
Hi to the wife. We'll see you. And now, next, I feel like a barber, a bald barber, a couple of bald barbers here. Next. Huh? Give him that. Give him. Give him that one.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?
Do we insult anybody with that? I hope so. Is that okay? See you, buddy. Okay, so we have with us now the famous or infamous person that runs the abortion anti-abortion thing, the Rala. What?
Pregnancy Resource Center.
Pregnancy Resource Center.
Yes, PRC.
Okay, and since you're not making fun of me right now, I'm going to. I think we should deliver something, shouldn't we? A little bit of history based on us, and I'm sure you're going to be thrilled to see this again because it was one of the funniest things I ever saw. Yeah, put your ears on for this one.
And I realize you're a Jewish man, but Jesus forgives all sins, no matter how big. And I realize you're a Jewish man, but Jesus forgives all sins, no matter how big.
Wait a minute, I'm not sure I like the order. Hold on a minute. You're a Jewish man, but Jesus will forgive all sins. Excuse me, major faux pas. Oh my gosh!
I'm afraid that.
Oh my God! What happened here? Where's the rabbi when I need him?
I'm glad.
I don't like that talk.
Yeah. That's one of that's like the Johnny Carson thing where the American Indian, call him what you want to, but he throws the tomahawk.
Mm-hmm.
And it hits the subject in the groin, the wooden cowboy. Okay, and he goes up. He's going to run up and grab it, and Johnny says, "No, just let it be there." Okay, they must have laughed for 15 minutes. Okay, that was one of the best comedic things ever, and that was one of the best comedic things I've ever seen. Most of these things happen by chance.
There you go.
So
it's the facts are still true. I mean, you're a Jewish man, and Jesus forgives all sins. Those are still the facts.
And you're not.
What? No.
Are you a Roman Catholic?
Yes.
So you're a Roman Catholic. Okay.
And the Jews have a lot to thank Catholics for, because
Excuse me?
The Jews have a lot to thank Catholics for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have Hanukkah.
Oh God, you're really stretching this out.
So
I want to know this:
the only place in the Bible
who kicked the Jews out of Israel back in
Romans.
Yeah. Romans, who soon became the Catholic.
That
Romans.
has nothing to do with that. They call them Roman Catholics. It has nothing to do with Rome. I mean,
who gutted all the stuff from Israel that are sitting probably somewhere in the Vatican? You got to see. Here's my point. And I love Catholics. I have good friends like yourself, but they're talking outside now. Catholics that are like Candace Owen.
She just became Catholic, so I mean, she's still learning. So.
Yeah. Well, she's learning real good because she knows the anti-Semitic part of this.
Yes.
And also Tucker Carlson, of all things, a Catholic. And they're both saying, why are we giving this money to Israel? Why? We're not obligated to them. Well, I'm thinking to myself, you got all that stuff that the Romans took, that all this gold and stuff. And I'm not sure where it is in the Vatican, but probably it's there. All right. Why doesn't Israel go raid it and take it back and see whether or not now they would want help in retaliation for that? That would be worth retaliation for the Catholic Church to go to Israel and knock them on their butts. I rest my case, Your Honor.
So you're hitting parts of history that I'm not really learned on. I will research that.
That. We're not quite sure where the because
what are you missing?
When they kicked Israel out, they also looted them back in 60 to 73 AD.
So you're talking
they took all their stuff.
The stuff out of the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Right.
So
and and as far as I know, they put it in the Vatican.
No. Where did you come up with that? I mean,
eventually.
Yeah. I mean, this is how long?
I don't know. I'd like to see
how long before the Christian Church was founded. How long did that happen before the Christian Church
was
founded?
300 years.
Yeah.
So probably not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't sure about it, but I know they looted them in the first place.
Okay.
Who the hell do you think built the Colosseums?
So
who built the Colosseum?
It wasn't us. It wasn't Christians.
Who built it?
Romans? Right.
No.
Who? I don't know.
Jews who they just had made slaves to the Jews.
Okay. Are you going to let me make my point or not?
Sure.
Okay. So in the Catholic Bible,
yes,
the book of Maccabees is the only place that Hanukkah is mentioned in the entire Bible. The entire Bible.
Okay.
So the Jews pulled the Maccabees out because they weren't happy with Maccabees. It was the Council of Trent when they did that. And the reason they did that was because of the Romans. In the first Maccabees, there's this glowing treaty with the Romans. And just to read the treaty is a love fest. So
between the Jews and
the Romans.
And the Romans.
Right. So
and what year was this? Refresh my memory. Was this like
it was
before
Christ? Yeah,
before Christ. Okay.
Absolutely. So the book of Maccabees is the only place where Hanukkah is mentioned in the entire Bible. So if you didn't have Catholics, you wouldn't have Hanukkah. You wouldn't have proof.
Okay.
So there you
go. You don't want me to mention anything about what I went through when I was a kid, when we all had a communal park to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And this was Central Park in Evanston, Illinois, right across from the rail tracks where I lived in Skokie, Illinois. And everybody used this park. Everybody. There was a Catholic church on the corner. One day they decided to come out with this. Oh God. the KKK of Jew. They named it the JKKA or something like that. Kike's killing area, something like that. Yeah, and all the parents came out, all the kids were out there, the cops were out there. It was a big to do. All right, so that could have been it was very hurtful to a lot of people, but they stopped it after a while. But still, that's the kind of things that happened to us. You remember Chuck Tote?
No.
He was my lawyer, Chuck Tote.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He died, and I went to the church. The family wanted me to speak to him, and you can't believe the looks I was getting from the father. He didn't know me from Adam, but he was really scowling at me. I know when I've been scowled at, okay? And I gave him my little speech, and I sat down, and it just wasn't a good feeling. But okay, whatever. But I love the people in it. I love you, okay? And I think it's great, and I think you do great work, you and your wife and the family. And I've been around you for a long time, and I've had lots of great friends who were, are and were Catholics.
Good. Well, Catholics are not as a denomination anti-Semitic at all. And I'm sure there are anti-Semitics in the denomination, in the church, but it's in general certainly not. I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I just think I think a lot of Catholics forget where they came from, and which is, by the way, through Jesus in Israel as a Jew. And I don't remember many of the things that Jesus didn't do that weren't Jewish. Now you can say, well, he did, modernize some of the things that were happening that shouldn't have happened in Israel, or the amount of money that was collected at the steps of Israel. But he never once came out as an anti-Jewish Jew that we know of, did he?
No,
okay,
certainly not.
So he did all the stuff that Jews are required to do.
Right. And
I don't think he ever once said, "I am the real son of God." I can't. Can you find that in the Bible? He alludes to it, but
so Jesus never answered a question directly. I mean, it may be once or twice in the entire Bible. It's always whose inscription is on this coin. It's all a lesson anyway. But he did say he was God. He did say he was the Messiah. But it was, who do you say that I am? You know, it was always a question instead of an answer. And
so he didn't say it. Somebody else said it.
I'll get the verse for you.
Okay, please, because I'm interested. Because, you know, the Ten Commandments are pretty clear. You will pray to no other God other than me.
Right.
Okay, and it's God has never knocked on our door and said, by the way, I am changing that. Well, now, if he said Jesus as my actual son with Mary, well, okay, that's fine. But he hasn't done that yet.
Well, you just said the key words, I am. Okay, when Moses met God and at the burning bush, when God talked to him, when he went back to the people and said, well, who did this God say he was? And the answer was, I am. And Jesus said that several times. So the reality is,
he said it as a Jew, though.
Right.
Way after. That was after Moses.
Right.
So it's an argumentative thing. And I hear that, most of the preachers that I see are very excellent people. And especially when they're talking about the Bible, the Old Testament. But when they get to the New Testament, it becomes a whole different ballgame. it seems, because it changes.
Well, it's called the New Covenant, okay? But every Catholic I know that I'm friendly with understands Jesus was a Jew and has perfect reverence for the Jewish people, the chosen people. There are in our church, which I'm sure many churches are like this, there's a good percentage of people that are in the pews that have no idea why they're there, that don't understand. But everybody that I know and everybody I'm friendly with gets it.
Sure.
So
I've sat in a few churches, not just the Catholic Church, but other churches during, funerals and things like that. Or one gal wanted me to sit in one of these things, and almost all of it came down to some kind of nasty thing said about Jews. All right, and
in this service,
in this town, Episcopal. I mean, I sat there, and I have children that are Christian, grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they said it right when one of them was being, I don't know what exactly she was doing, but she was being confirmed. Is that right? And so, I mean, I didn't say anything, but I certainly didn't stand up and honor it. But it was really nasty towards the Jews, and a few of them were looking at me, and I know I'm a little paranoid, but it's happened to me all my life like that. I always used to wonder, what the hell I was 10 years old when I had this epiphany of why do people hate Jews? I mean, I'm a 10-year-old kid. I haven't done anything to anybody that I know of that other than my parents pissing them off. And I started studying that. And I couldn't never get an answer, and I still don't get a direct answer on why. You take a look at the world today, you take a look at Australia just now, the killing in Brown College, and that was anti-Semitic too. Apparently, this guy's friend, he went and killed him either before or after killing the kids in school, and he was a Jewish guy. They knew each other, and he was a Jewish guy. Went to the same college in Brisbane or something like that. He was a guy that lived in Spain, I believe, and something happened, and he came back and killed the guy. And do you know who nailed the guy? A homeless guy.
A homeless guy, yeah.
Isn't that something?
That's somebody that shouldn't have been there either, right? So,
well, but he was living in the basement of the college.
Yeah.
Where were the cops?
Right.
Where was everybody else? Everybody's okay. Yeah.
Well, if you look at Missouri S&T, we have one of the most advanced camera systems on the planet right now. Yeah. But that was the first thing that Chief Douglas said in his first review. What do you think of this place? And he's like, you have no cameras. You have a tunnel under 63 and there's no cameras there. This is ridiculous. And he was the one that convinced them to get this high-tech system. So, and then it's shared with the city of Rolla, which is really cool.
Good.
It's face recognition software and everything.
Yeah.
So, really cool.
Okay.
And license plates. So when you pull into their parking garage, it knows who you are already before you push the button.
Well, Brown apparently didn't have any of that.
No.
Okay. None of it. And they were just ridiculous how, what they were doing. Anyways, what else do you want to talk about? I realize.
Well, I have a gift for you and Lisa.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
So it's fresh made fudge and candied nuts because you're a little nuts.
I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
Well, it's true. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. And
what do you think you have an immune system for? It's for killing germs.
All right, thanks.
So I wanted I did want to put a plug in for the
Okay, well, I got is Chris Adamo there?
He was, and he went off. I think he's adjusting his camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just want to give a plug to the Pregnancy Center. We talk mostly about other stuff, but this is the time for year-end donations. If anybody out there is needing to protect themselves from tax liabilities from 2025, please consider the Pregnancy Resource Center. We save lives real time.
Yes.
It only costs about $1,000 to save a baby from abortion, Jewish or Catholic baby. It doesn't matter. We're not.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
But go to supportmyprc.com.
No, I've always been a fan of that. You know that.
Yeah.
And we have raised a lot of money for you and your great organization. I got to tell you, you do a lot of good, and there's nothing better than watching a baby. Can you play the baby thing? I want people to see this. Yep, we're going to do that, and then we're going to talk to Chris Adamo.
I do have a quick story if you need it.
Yes, go ahead.
So, day before yesterday, a mom came in.
Yeah.
That I hadn't seen in 18 years. She was one of our very first clients from 2007, and her child that we saved is 18 years old now.
Wow.
And it was a great reunion, and we sat down and laughed and cried. And, this is a woman that had nobody. She had just moved to Rolla like months before, and then her boyfriend got incarcerated. So she didn't know anybody in town. All she had was us, and we took care of her.
Yeah.
So it was a grand reunion. Kind of cool to think that we have 18 and 19-year-olds out there that were saved at the center. So
it's absolutely great, and you follow up. That's one of the better things that anyone does. You follow up. They'll never leave you. They're all kind of like your stepchildren, and that's a great thing right there.
And I remembered the baby's name. I remember the sound of this woman's voice. It was so cool.
Yeah, it is. You have a cool life. All right. You're a cool man.
Thank you.
A little crude at times, but you're a cool guy. All right, hit it.
Nenê do pai. Mas, meu Deus do céu, gente. Ela tá feliz, meu Deus do céu. Bebê.
The baby in the womb.
Mas, gente do céu. Nenê do pai.
And we put the video
Deus do céu, gente.
Yeah, that's great. I'm going to have a great grandchild here in a month or so.
Wow.
About next month.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. And what are we going to do with Chris?
I have to try to call him real fast because I'm not sure.
Well, why don't you call him? Okay. All right. Okay, he's going to call him. You want to run another commercial here? Oh, wait, there he is. He's flicking.
Oh, there we go.
He's flickering. All right. Okay, we got Chris Adamo. Let's hear it for Joe Dalton. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Supportmyprc.com.
Will do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my next guest maybe is having a little trouble with his computer, but he is, let me find where he is. This man loves pizza almost as much as he adores America. He's a writer and Wyoming juggernaut. He's an expert on socialism and communism. Please welcome, all the way from, I believe, Missouri, Chris Adamo. And by the way, he's also an author, Rules for Defeating Radicals. Go get it. Okay? All right. So from the living Rob Reiner, finally, the cancer of our democracy is gone. Donald Trump, the lying, cheating, fascist con man, has left this world. America, let's heal and never let another like him rise. Good riddance and end of an era. Okay, now Trump said something after he was killed that was a little less than nice. And probably I wouldn't agree with the way he handled that, but this guy was rooting for this guy to die. Okay, and people ought to take that into consideration when they're seeing his statement. But his talk was not real presidential. I don't. What do you think?
Okay, one of the things that, for starters, presidential is one of the things that that the left has defined for us in the last couple of decades, where what they do is presidential, what we do is never presidential. So our side, and I'm going to exclude Donald Trump from this, to his credit, our side, I'm talking about the Bushes and all the Romneys and McCains, all the people that wanted to be president. I'm not being presidential. Oh, I have to jump through more hoops to try and impress the enemy that I'm going to be what they say I ought to be. Okay. So I mean, when let's look at Barack Obama bowing down before Islamists. Okay. But he's going to tell anybody else about what's presidential. Let's look at the left putting this cadaverous Joe Biden up there, who was obviously, I mean, the guy was mentally vacant in 2020. He was a puppet, barely able to recite his lines. You remember when he's walking past that Marine, and it's obvious he's got a microphone in his ear, walk past that Marine, and as he's walking, he says, "Turn right and salute." Why? Because they're telling him it's like you're brain dead. So maybe if we tell you to turn right and salute, you'll do it, and you can look like you're actually a functioning person.
In the picture section of previous presidents, he's got an auto pen for his picture.
Yeah, I saw that.
And underneath it says,
but that's the point. But
in gold,
these are the people.
He says
these are the people that are telling us not
the worst president in our history.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it. These are the people telling us what is and isn't presidential. How about if we start by telling these people to shut up? We're not taking, you people are morally and spiritually bankrupt. We're not taking your advice on anything. And so, for starters, we're not going to talk about Donald Trump being presidential on your basis. Why? Because we can see how you define what is and isn't presidential, and it's garbage. Okay, now, step one there. Step two, I want to go back to, well, did he say the right thing or not? You know what? He told the truth. President Trump told the truth about Rob Reiner. One of the other things that they've done to manipulate us, and it's the key to this, you can tell I'm wound up this morning. The key to this is very situational, is, again, well, you can't speak ill of the dead. That's not right. That's not good form. Let's look at, first of all, who Rob Reiner was, and then let's look at what he said, and then let's look at how they speak of the dead or of a grieving widow or anything like that when it's to their political advantage to do so. And there is nothing that is beneath these people. Okay, so for starters, we don't let these people tell us what is and isn't good behavior, good form, or anything. Let's get back to speaking the truth. And here's the truth. Rob Reiner, one statement after another. You quoted some of the most gutless, underhanded, despicable ones, but one statement after another.
There are worse. I know there are.
Oh yeah, but one thing after another. The only thing consistent among all of them was whenever it was evil, whenever it was despicable, whenever it promoted the godless venom of the leftist counterculture, Rob Reiner was one of the leaders. And as a leftist, the hypocrisy was raging in this guy. I don't know if you even remember this, but it was either a year ago or 2 years ago, he put out a movie, and Rob Reiner was actually going to co-opt the Christian evangelicals in this country by telling us what it means to be a good Christian. And of course, this was going to be totally on the basis. Do you remember that movie?
No.
This movie opened, I think, in 800 theaters or something nationwide, because he was going to get the message out, attacking Christian nationalism and right-wing extremism and stuff. And he got the amount of revenues he got from his movie that was going to change the course of history was about I think $57,000 nationwide. Okay, and that's
a big loss right there.
Absolutely. This is who Rob Reiner was. Okay, but now
he also did some pretty good movies back in the 90s.
Back when he was an entertainer. And this is the thing.
There were some good movies there.
Hollywood, back when their role was entertainment.
Yeah.
They were good. Back when
that's right. He's not a smart guy, okay? But he's a funny guy, and he can write good movies, and he did, and okay, fine, but you know what, we shouldn't let you get away with what you're saying,
exactly,
how sorry we ought to be, because you wanted Donald Trump dead, and you
Yeah.
wanted him worse than dead, sent to hell.
So why is it that the minute this person gets what they wish on somebody else, all of a sudden we're supposed to eulogize him? No, he was a despicable human being when he was alive, and his legacy will be of a despicable human being who way back when wrote decent movies, but he's a despicable human being. Adolf Hitler was an artist. Did you know he was a painter? He actually did art. It was crap, but so once he blew his brains out in Berchtesgaden, are we supposed to say, well, he was he had artistic, he wanted to bring beauty into the world? No, he was a demon from hell, and that didn't change once he got to go to where he was trying to drag the rest of us. Same thing for Rob Reiner.
But the Democrats, like Reiner, had no problem comparing
absolutely. Well, that's the Democrat, this, I call it selective moralizing.
Yeah.
Because, man, you talk about these people they can outdo any Southern Baptist minister by cocking their head a little bit to the angle and sounding so holy. If you just do this, we'll have utopia on earth. And when it comes right down to it, everything they push is vile and venom. This week, and I'm glad you brought up Reiner, because James Carville made the comparison, and he said, and I'm not even going to use a phraseology because it was disgusting, but he basically said that Charlie Kirk couldn't compare to Rob Reiner. Okay, this is how this. He did, and again, I'll send you the text later.
Was that after Reiner was killed?
Oh yeah, this was just in the last day or two. It's up on Breitbart right now. You can check. It's basically saying that Charlie Kirk, he just didn't even compare to Reiner. But this is such a textbook example of how leftists. Jesus talked about those who will strain out a gnat, because the gnat's not good. They'll strain out a gnat and then they'll swallow a camel in the next bite.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, this is hypocrisy. This is how these people operate. And this is what our side needs to understand, because we keep thinking, don't they realize that that's not fair? Don't they realize that that's not morally consistent? Yes, they realize that they're inconsistent. They're hypocrites. They're liars. And there is nothing that's beneath them. And they have no shame. This is who leftists are. We've got to recognize that they will never self-police, because quite honestly, Dave, if you were to point out something that I reported, that one of these statements that I'm giving you, and you were to say, no, Chris, you didn't get that right. Here's what really happened. And it turns out you're telling the truth and I got it wrong. My response is, and should be, hey, I'll correct the record. And same thing, if I was to correct you on something, hey, Dave, you get that news item wrong. It didn't happen in Wisconsin. It happened in Iowa or whatever. And you're gonna fix it. Leftists never do that. Leftists, if they tell a lie and you catch them, they're going to cover it with another lie.
I got two guys here, and I'm afraid they're going to arrest me. I'll tell you what.
What's going on here?
Oh, I don't know. I've been invaded here, apparently. I see.
Well,
my next guests are like 15 minutes early. I mean,
do I need to get off?
No, you don't need to get off.
Oh, okay.
You guys beat me up or something like that. I don't know. They're looking tough. So they're Army guys, right? Just you? Oh, your Jewish friend. Oh, yeah. Bring the Jew in. Come on. What the hell? No, I'm kidding. You got to wait. This is my Christian friend.
We always need one of them for entertainment.
You know what? He says, hey, forget about it. So, hey. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, you want me to start down? You have a list of things for me today? Because I have a whole page. See, I got a whole page.
But go ahead. Go for it. Go for it. And we'll stop it at 9:30.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Let's see. So we got 9:30. We'll stop. Yeah. Wait a minute. Hey guys, you have to forgive Dave. He gets a little mixed up on time.
I do. It's true. Yeah. My wife is coming back in, I guess. So.
Oh, good. Okay. Hello, Lisa.
Lisa.
She's.
Chris says hello.
Oh, hi, Chris. Oh.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right. So UFOs, by the way, have been a secret for 80 years. Our government is great at keeping secrets. You know, are we in an age of discovery or disclosure of anything? Because it's starting to.
I'll be honest with
guys
you.
might be able to testify to that.
If there were space aliens and they came down to Earth and they landed in the typical public school classroom and they see drag queens and boys are supposed to go into girls' bathrooms and stuff, they'd probably just very quietly pack up, head off to another planet. Maybe you can find some lizards or something that show a little more common sense.
Yeah. Okay. Operation Warp Speed for sidelining China for rare earth minerals and doing it over the world, all over the world. I think we're doing it with Venezuela right now and a lot of other countries, African countries and things. This is Trump's way of really being able to run the earth without war, if he can.
Okay. First of all, I'm a little confused because in my recollection, Operation Warp Speed was putting that fake vaccine that never helped anybody into wide circulation, and that was, people say, well, you guys are cultists, you just worship whatever Trump says.
Yeah,
but that was one he got wrong. That whole vaccine thing was one he got wrong.
Yeah.
Now, as far as what you're talking about economic domination.
Well, the vaccine thing, you're being he had all the experts telling him that this was a real big problem, and he went along with it for a little bit, and
right, and that's the point. We don't look at everything he does and say we'll just follow him blindly. He got that one wrong. Okay, now back to what you're talking about with these rare earth minerals.
You're
like this
going out.
Whoops. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. So
Chris, now you're out. All right.
One reason that China.
Chris, I can't hear you. Most of your words are not hearable. Okay. Call me back next week. I'm not trying to do anything funny with you, but your sound is not working.
How about now?
That's better. Well, that's good. Let's hear what you say now.
Okay, it just came back. I'm gonna. Tell you. Don't take this personally. But
all right, I can't hear anything.
Like it was at your end.
It's at my end?
How about now?
It's not good. Okay. We're going to have to ditch this till next week, okay? Actually, I'm probably not doing a show next week. But I love you, but I can't go on like this. I can't go on. Okay. Thank you, Chris Adamo. Yeah. All right. Take a quick commercial break, and we'll get the other gentleman on.
Your home is your castle. You don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments. That's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our #1 goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
With warmer temperatures right around the corner and allergies ramping up, now's the time to get those AC units serviced. At Hartley's, we pride ourselves in offering outstanding service with fast response times. With proper maintenance, you can make those hot days be a lot cooler and remove those pesky allergens that always seem to find their way into your home. Call us today so you can be living a much cooler and healthier life. Hartley's, community born, community raised, community serving.
Call Hartley's Climate Control today at 573-368-3163.
Never be too coy to tell your friends and family about Koi Sushi and Hibachi. Celebrate the best Chinese-Japanese restaurant in the Midwest. Call 573-426-5551 to make a reservation or order takeout. Locally owned, 1808 North Bishop, Rolla, Missouri.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is two words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Merrell's Quarry and Asphalt, 40 years serving cities, counties, and everyday businesses with driveways for people who live and work in our little piece of heaven right smack dab in the middle of America. Call 573-578-9101 for your free estimate of rocking, rolling, paving, driveways, sealing, and striping too. That's 573-578-9101 for your free estimate.
Your home is your castle, you don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments, that's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our number one goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Busy schedule? Let your locally owned Price Chopper help you save time with online shopping. It's easy. Sign up to tcmarkets.com or download our mobile app in the App Store or Google Play. Create an account and browse through the categories and choose the items you need. When you place your order, your personal shopper will get all of the items you've selected, taking the same care you would and following your notes. We offer free curbside pickup, so you don't even have to get out of your car. Start your online order today and no online shopping fee for a limited time. Go to tcmarkets.com or download our mobile app to get started. Price Chopper. Fresher savings every day. A-Car Real Estate, where experience matters. 532 million sold since 2003, the number one sales volume in Phelps County. As a client for decades, I can say they are the best in mid-Missouri. Call 573-368-7355. That's 573-368-7355 for the best real estate experience you'll ever have.
Gotta reach 'em, see it right now.
Insurance going up like crazy? Daniel and Henry Insurance is one of the largest private insurance companies in the world. Richard Boyette, 314-444-5011. He's my guy at Daniel and Henry for 10 years. Business or personal, call Richard at 314-444-5011. He's the best.
At Town & Country Bank, we are committed to providing exceptional service to our customers. We do more than just provide loans for our community. We help make dreams become reality. Whether it's a new home, farm, business, or a new car, we would love the opportunity to help. Stop by one of our 2 Rolla locations and let our friendly lending team remind you how special hometown banking can be. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Palestinians of the ancient world in biblical context are different than the Palestinians. They were the group, they were not Semitic, they weren't Jewish, and they concentrated on the coast of Israel, Gaza. The modern Palestinian identity came, a millennia later. And that was shaped by the Arab, Islamic, and historic developments in that area. It's not directly connected to the Philistines. However, Philistine and Palestinian both mean people that dwell on the coast. The word Hamas is an acronym, which means, in their language, the Islamic resistance movement. But in Hebrew, Hamas means something altogether different. It means violence. Hamas means something altogether different. It means violence. And this is in Hebrew in Genesis 6:11. The earth was filled with Hamas, violence, corruption, wickedness. It was because of Hamas that the rains came and Noah had to build the ark, because of Hamas. So when you hear the word Hamas, understand what it means to the Israeli ear compared, to the Palestinian ear. It's not just an enemy. It's a biblical echo, a spiritual warning from deep, deep time. So for 75 years, they have been trying to make peace between these ancient adversaries. Everybody has tried to do it. In my lifetime, the Camp David Awards or Accords were in 1978, the Oslo Accords in 1993. Endless roadmaps, summits, UN resolutions, and nothing. Every single one of them hailed as historic, and each one declared a new chapter, and every one of them failed. The entire Arab world didn't believe Israel had a right to exist. And everyone was looking for a political solution. Then comes Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't approach this, as a professor of Middle East studies. He didn't approach this with the 100 years of expertise from the State Department. In fact, he looked at the State Department expertise and went, you guys aren't really experts at anything. You haven't solved anything. And you keep trying the same thing. What are we doing? He took a business approach. He knew all of the players because of business. He knew all of the big players. And so he got in with all of the players and found out, what do you really want? And what they really want is stability. If you look at what's being built in the Middle East, they are these incredible modern cities. They want prosperity. The Middle East does. Hamas doesn't. He saw a region, Donald Trump did, he saw a region that was addicted to U.S. aid, endless negotiation, and so he just tore up the whole rule book, and he recognized Jerusalem, first thing, as the capital of Israel, a move every single president before has been told by the State Department, you can't do that, it'll cause war. And you know what? It didn't. He moved the embassy. He then walked away from the Iran deal, and he told the world that America is no longer going to apologize for standing with the only democracy in the Middle East.
Okay, we're on, guys, gentlemen, and this is quite a surprise here. I've got a guy here that's a good friend of Bill Hardwick, and his name is Jim Avery. Captain Jim Avery is a 3-time combat veteran, a Marine who re-upped into 9/11 when that happened, right after 9/11. Missouri Army National Guard, and also another stint in Afghanistan. Please welcome, all the way from St. Louis, Jim Avery, Captain Jim Avery, and his friend, an Orthodox rabbi.
Not a rabbi, just an Orthodox Jew. Not all Jews are rabbis.
You just brought me an ordinary Jew?
Ordinary Jew.
I wanted a rabbi.
But he's Orthodox.
Oh, an Orthodox attorney now. Well, that together
we're both
is sort
attorneys.
of yeah, they're both
he's
attorneys.
Orthodox. I'm not Orthodox.
They're both.
Of us are rabbis.
Yeah.
Huh?
Neither one of us are rabbis.
And neither one's are
But
rabbis.
he is the most Jewish person I know.
Yeah, and he's a little Jewish too.
I am.
He's Jewish.
I'm half Jew.
And he is also Christian.
I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
So I'm a Messianic Jew. So I chose to be Christian.
All right. Well, golly.
To my mom's dismay.
But his name is Rabbi.
Not Rabbi.
No, he's not a rabbi. Damn it.
Dan Lefton.
I don't care. I made you a rabbi.
My mother would be
proud. Is it Daniel Lefton?
Yes.
Daniel Lefton. See, I write stuff down. I can't even read my own writing. It's not good. Okay, so I'll try to do both of you. Right now. How do you know Bill?
Bill and I actually served in the same National Guard unit. I was a lieutenant. He was a captain. And the very first day, hopefully you're listening, Bill. The very first day I met him, I called all the people higher ranking than me by their first names because we had all deployed to Afghanistan together. So when I met Bill, I said, hey, we were walking somewhere. And I said, what's your first name? And he said, Captain. So Bill's I think he's a lieutenant colonel now.
Yeah.
I still call him Captain because he was a smart aleck. And he didn't know that I was friends with everybody higher ranking to the point where I can call them by their first name. So he was very formal with me and corrected me by telling me basically he wasn't going to give me his first name.
Were you taken aback?
Yeah, actually I went to my buddy and I go, who's this jerk? Making me call him a captain. Like, doesn't he know? So, but now we're good buddies. We're both running for the Senate. I'm a huge fan of Bill Hardwick.
Yeah.
I'm going to do everything I can.
He was a huge fan of yours. And he told me that story earlier, by the way.
Good.
Yeah.
He has a little bit different story. I think he got mad that I put my hat on his table or something. Who knows? Whatever. But we're both good conservatives. And, I want him to win his race as much as I want to win my own. I think it's important. The legislature has conservatives, not just Republicans. Republican doesn't mean anything to me. Conservative does.
Yeah.
And it's important that Bill and I both get elected so we can actually start doing some Republican things in the state of Missouri.
Yeah. Are we are there more Democrats than Republicans, or is it just you got weak Republicans?
Weak Republicans. We have a huge majority. We have more Republicans in Missouri than Texas, Tennessee, or Florida in our legislature, but we're not doing big Republican things. The governor I'll give him credit. He's talking about getting rid of some income tax, which is a good start.
Yeah.
I'd like to get rid of personal property tax. I don't know why we're paying taxes to own our cars and farm machinery and trailers. I don't have farm machinery, but there's a lot of people that have farm machinery, and that's expensive. That's expensive equipment. And they have to pay personal property tax. Sometimes this equipment, they might have $1 million worth of equipment or more.
Yeah.
And they're paying taxes on it. So, the fact that the government's making you pay for something you own is just ridiculous to me.
So he's a lawyer too.
We're both lawyers.
You're both lawyers, right? But he's in the Senate.
I'm not in the Senate yet. I'm running for the Senate.
But he's a representative. Where are your creds for being in a Jewish lawyer? I mean, why can't you be in like him?
So Dave, I actually grew up in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I lived in New York City for 5 years. I went to law school in New York City. I moved back to St. Louis to come to my father's law firm in 2000. And when I first moved back to St. Louis, I became very involved in potential private school funding for vouchers, tax credits, things along those lines. And probably going back close to 20 years, I happened to meet a woman in Jefferson City by the name of Jane Cunningham.
She was a state rep also.
She was a state rep.
Yeah.
And we had a chance meeting. I was with her and she knew Jim and she made the introduction.
She knew that I had a Jewish background. So she introduced me to Dan. And ever since then, we've been friends.
Yeah.
Well, I said I going to have a lot of lawyers here today, but I didn't realize I'd have more.
Yeah, Bill Hardwick's a lawyer too.
Listen, Bill Hardwick and you two guys, and then I'm going to have the McCluskeys.
Yeah,
his wife is a lawyer.
Yep.
Well, this is good. You got to hang out for him.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And we're all billing you. You do know that.
Hey, I was gonna give you lunch at McDonald's.
Well, he can't eat it, but I can.
I'm gonna give you Happy Meals.
He can't have meat and cheese together. I've learned that because he's kosher.
All right, we'll do it.
But
we'll say a prayer. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
I can have a quarter pounder. He can't.
Yeah, that's so terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this: you spent your deployments destroying IEDs
Correct.
And you received the Army Commendation Medal.
Correct.
And so how long did you do? That's got to be a scary position.
Well, so I was in the Marines. I got out of the Marines after my 4 years.
Yeah.
Was out of the military for a decade or so. And
What'd you do?
In the Marine Corps, I worked on KC-130. So I was an aviation electronics technician. So I worked on C-130s. And then
what is a C-130? Is that a plane?
It's a cargo plane. Plane.
Okay.
It's a refueler also. It's an aerial refueler. So it will refuel jets in the air. But anyway, I got out of the Marine Corps. I deployed to Somalia when I was in the Marine Corps. And then I joined, after 9/11, I joined the Missouri Army National Guard. I went to a combat engineer unit. And that's what we did, is we would drive around Iraq looking for bombs and blowing them up. And then about 2-3 years later, I got deployed to Afghanistan to do the same thing. But I was an officer this time. I had gone to officer candidate school, actually, with Tulsi Gabbard. We went to officer candidate school together. I was a state rep from Missouri at the time. She was a state representative from Hawaii.
That's a hell of a connection right there.
Yeah. Yep. So we know each other. If Tulsi were walking down the street, she'd come say hi to me. And, I can't ask her for her endorsement because she's not allowed to because of the Hatch Act. But, if she wasn't the national security advisor, I'm sure she would be happy to endorse me.
Boy, she's big time.
She is big time.
So what do you think of, what do you both think of Trump's cabinet so far? Dan?
I mean, from where I'm sitting, I'm not sure if I can remember in my lifetime a president who has been as successful and as strong as Donald Trump has.
Yeah. I don't know Trump much. I just keep his little
right.
I just keep him watching me. Look, I got Trump everywhere here.
Yeah.
It just seems almost from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Well, the package is a little bit different than what we're used to.
Well,
as far as the delivery.
Yeah.
But as far as substantive action, it's
I mean, look, the
incredible.
Democrats said we had to have a new immigration law to stop illegal immigration.
Yeah.
Donald Trump gets elected. He takes office. 2 weeks later, it stops.
Yeah.
We didn't need a new law. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Right.
We didn't need that.
Right.
Well,
he's shocking everybody. You know what, JP, play. How far down did you get with the tape with the clips? Because I kind of want to play a couple of clips from.
I got to number 6.
Number 6. Oh, okay. Play 5 and 6. Play 7 and 8.
Yep.
All right, you guys will listen to this and maybe respond.
And that's where all of the anti-Semitic stuff comes. Because now, see, Israel is controlling our foreign policy. Israel is controlling Donald Trump. Donald Trump is doing the bidding of the Jews. No, he didn't. No, he wasn't being controlled, and no, they weren't controlling him. It was actually seemingly quite to the opposite, because he did something extraordinary. He took the entire region and brought them together. First, he did it with the Abraham Accords. That is the first genuine realignment of the region in a generation, or maybe 2. And it wasn't about ideology. It was all about survival, prosperity, and the shared fear of Iran's growing shadow. When we drop the bombs on Iran, Americans and people in the West and people who have been educated in our universities and been indoctrinated with all this garbage, they looked at that and said, oh my gosh, look at, he's doing Israel's bidding. No, he was actually doing Israel's bidding. He was doing Saudi Arabia's bidding. He was doing Turkey's bidding. He was doing a bidding of Egypt. Everyone in the Middle East hates Iran. They know how dangerous Iran is. They wanted somebody to put Iran in its place. So when Donald Trump did, the Middle East, the Arab world, celebrated. Now, not all of it, but a lot of it. The ones that are now at the table. He did something else. He proved himself to be an honest broker.
Okay, that was 9, was it?
That was 8.
That was 8.
Yeah, you want 9 as well.
Yeah, do one more for 9. Okay. But this thing is just amazing how he describes what's going on in the Middle East and what he says to Bibi Netanyahu when he started to bomb Qatar. He told him to knock it off, and he did. And then he got together with Saudi Arabia and the other countries there. They all hate Iran. What did he do? He knocked Iran to where they're not applicable to fight anybody anymore. So he's done things on both sides that ingratiates them to each other, because Arabs like to make money, for God's sakes. They don't want this aggravation. Most of them. Not all, but most. So keep going. Get that next one in there, please.
And not doing the bidding of just Israel. And I would love to hear all of the people who are now standing up and saying, see, we're just a puppet. I would love for you to understand. I would love to hear your explanation of this. When Israel went after Qatar, which I don't have any love at all for Qatar, but they went after Qatar, and that was going to blow this whole thing up. What happened? Donald Trump went to Benjamin Netanyahu and said, you need to apologize to Qatar. Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel's not going to apologize. They ended up apologizing to Qatar. It won't happen again. That gave Donald Trump the image in the Middle East of not being the little boy toy, but the other way around. He has some control of what Israel is going to do.
Now, he has some other really good stuff to talk about, and maybe we'll get to them, and maybe we won't. But he does a great examination of what's going on all over the world, because when it's got to do with Earth, gold and silver and stuff like that,
rare earth minerals.
Yeah, rare earth minerals. He he's in Venezuela, right? Okay. So, and people are giving him all sorts of crap. Guys are actually in the army saying, do not follow his orders. Okay. They're in the army. You guys you have to think about that. What does that say to you?
You mean when the political people came
when
out?
When Kelly comes out and says, you don't have to listen to this.
Right.
You don't have to take the order.
Yeah, it's a joke. I mean, listen, he's the commander in chief. If you have any questions, if it's legal or not legal, I mean, they can't tell you one thing he said that is illegal.
Yeah.
So
there's about 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
That do
Now,
this.
if they said kill these civilians over here, I would say, I'm not sure that's legal. Let me go ask the JAG officer. Other than that, I mean, it's common sense. It's illegal.
Obama
it's
did
illegal
it.
order.
He did
Correct.
it. He killed a ton.
lot. I think it was. I heard 2,300 or 23,000.
Yeah, something like
people,
that.
Civilians.
Yeah,
and
nobody said a word.
Some of them were American citizens at that.
Nobody said a word.
Not a word.
Yeah.
So I just was listening.
Amazing.
Listening to a clip this morning. What's the nut from California? The junior senator.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
Schiff.
Adam Schiff.
Adam Schiff.
Yeah, he was grilling somebody, and they're like, we didn't hear you when, basically what you said when Obama was doing this.
Yeah.
Schiff wanted to release the tape. Did you see that?
Boat strike.
Yeah, the boat strikes.
Yeah.
And he's like, the junior senator from California knows that this happened under Obama.
Well,
you never heard him say a word.
Has he been brought up and arrested yet? Because I think he's headed there.
Has he been indicted? Yeah,
indicted. Yeah.
But as far as Israel goes, I mean, there's no better guy in this room than Dan to talk about it.
Well, okay.
Because he's in Israel a lot.
What do you think of that? And by the way, did you know a lawyer by the name of Chuck Tote?
I do not.
Never heard of him.
He was in St. Louis. He was my lawyer for a lot of years. He's dead now, but
we do injury law.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Injury law.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't look at me with that
Yeah.
look.
What's the look? Dollar
Come
signs?
on. Come on. We'll go into this. You'll fall over and we'll represent you. We'll split it all.
No. Neither one of us take.
He had one of those.
We don't take.
Who was your lawyer? Mark McCluskey.
Okay. Neither one of us take junky cases. We only take cases where people are legitimately hurt.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What are you accusing me of?
No, I'm not accusing you of anything, but ask him about Israel. So
Okay, I want to know about Israel and how you think what's going on there. I get a look at this every week with my lawyer. I read the JPs and all the other stuff about Israel every week. So, what's the status right now? Where's Hamas at? Have they have delivered all the hostages? Is that correct?
They've delivered all of the living hostages.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, because it's that important, Israel, as part of the negotiated peace agreement or ceasefire, Hamas is to return the bodies of the dead soldiers and dead hostages. And from what I understand, they've returned all the bodies but for one. And there's the one body that they're still holding on to.
They're holding on to it? They haven't?
They haven't returned it. What they're doing, whether they even know where the body is, who knows what they know and what they don't know.
Yeah.
But that is the one piece as far as at least returning hostages that we're waiting on. And what I can say is for every week, I mean, I don't have to tell you, Dave, or your listening audience, the impact of October 7th, not just on the Jewish community, but on the world community. And from October 7th through whatever it was, 3 months ago when President Trump helped negotiate the hostages, the return of the hostages, it was a daily service within our synagogues where we would pray for the welfare and for the return of our hostages. And among the prayers is the return for the bodies of the hostages that Hamas murdered, because it's that important. The preservation of the Jewish body is that important, that it be buried appropriately and that it not be in any way abused or harmed in any way. And you're talking about the dead hostages, let alone the living hostages.
Dave, I don't know if you know this. I only know this because of my mom. When a Jew dies, they're to be buried the next day.
Right.
So that's really important. So the fact that they weren't able to be buried the next day in itself is a problem.
Yeah.
So it's a very important.
I'm going to tell you a little story. I had the rabbi on 10/6/23 Friday. And I don't know. I was talking to him and I says, how are you guys doing in terms of your defense? You guys got any problems there? And he says, no, we're fine. We're doing great. All the intel is great. We got the United States behind us and all that stuff. And of course, this is under Biden. And he says, why do you ask? I says, well, I don't know why, but I just have a feeling about something. And, you're talking about being in really great shape and there's nobody going to attack you. And I'm thinking back to 1972, the Yom Kippur War. And he says, well, Dave, anything can happen, but we're in really good shape. 6 hours later is when they attacked. 6 hours is when they attacked. And now the whole world seems to want to pass over that. I'm not trying to be cute with that, but I mean, like it didn't happen. I mean, all the
or they blame it on Israel.
Look, you stole their land. What land? Right. Palestinians? There's no such thing as a Palestinian.
Right.
Is there?
Nobody wants them either. Egypt doesn't want them.
They don't want them. We're talking about Hamas generally, but also there's 8 states they fought. 8 states and beat them all. You talk about miracles, and I'm saying this. In 2005, where Ariel Sharon decided that he was going to evacuate all the Jews out there, living or dead, and just leave it to Gaza, And they started right away to build tunnels and all sorts of things under schools, under mosques, under homes, so they could attack. And if we retaliated, the Israelis retaliated, it would be seen as they're a bunch of baby killers,
Right?
A bunch of children killers. All right, great strategy, right? So my concept of this is that finally, after having one ceasefire after another, well, it's 17, 18 ceasefires, they'd have a little game. They'd throw a couple. It's not a game, serious game, where they drop a few bombs on Israel. Israel throw a few bombs on them, and then they have a ceasefire within like a week. 18 different times, and pretty soon now they're talking about, as we get up to the Biden administration, he gives out to 6 people $1.5 billion each as hostages to get them back. Well, that's pretty good money right there, isn't it? And so that's why Hamas did that, probably. And they had hostages there, still one left. They don't want to get rid of them because it was money to them. Tell me where I'm wrong.
I wish I could.
Okay, now, what does God have to do with this, Daniel?
The non-rabbi.
And you don't cut yourself out here, Jim, because what does God have to do with this? What did he tell the Jews in the early times about your enemy? Did we have to show mercy all the time?
Obviously, there are, even within Jewish law, and I don't profess to be an expert in Jewish law, there are rules of some level of mercy. However, there is certainly a concept within Jewish law that if somebody is coming to kill you, you kill them first.
Bingo.
That's
exactly what I'm asking.
A controlling precedent within Jewish
while
law.
Keeping civilians safe. You cannot tolerate bombs coming out of not synagogues, but mosques and schools and hospitals. That if you retaliate, you're going to be killing, because their offices are under them.
Correct.
All their rich.
And I would go as far as to say, as Prime Minister Netanyahu, and not just Bibi Netanyahu, but all of the administrations, even prior to, have gone above and beyond.
They have
to try and protect.
They have
the innocent civilians.
But they played this little game, and it's knowingly this. It was a game for them.
It's propaganda
because they don't care. It's propaganda. It's
Yeah.
propaganda.
And you know
because they don't think that they get the idea that the Jews will go after these guys. They're going to pay us billions and billions of dollars, and they're just going to pour that in to either Iran or Lebanon or Qatar or whoever.
And those dollars are landing with they're not landing with the civilians of Hamas, of Gaza.
That's right.
They're landing with the leadership in 5-star hotels in Qatar.
And suddenly Bibi says no more. Suddenly he says no more. To me, that came from God. To me, that's God. That was God's decision, and sent them in to do the things they did, some of which were miraculous. Remember the little phones they had and stuff like that.
The beepers.
I mean, the beepers.
Yeah.
Okay, that saved all or many of the civilians that would have died if they bombed them out. But it took care of
the bad guys.
Oh my God! It took care of the bad guys almost directly, right? Yeah.
I mean, Israel is one country I would never mess with. If you mess with them, they have a long history of coming back and getting you. You're not going to live a very long life if you commit crimes against the citizens of Israel or their people.
It brings back the Olympics of 1972.
I can't remember the name of the movie, but the movie that came out after that about Mossad,
Munich.
Munich.
Munich,
Great
right.
movie. Great movie. And the way they did things is amazing.
Yeah,
And they still continue to do.
They
things.
still, and you know what? I'm beginning to wonder: shouldn't there be a Israeli unit that does that? Why are we letting people in Australia, people in Providence? What's going to happen to them? How are they going to stop this? They got to go in and get these guys and do the same thing they were doing to those 15 Jews in Australia and 40 people that were injured. They killed 15 of them.
Right.
Just nowhere. And the government,
let's make stronger gun laws.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, we got to keep.
answer.
We got to keep. Yeah, the guy had
More
what
laws.
6 guns
Right.
Police
or
didn't
something
even
like
have
that.
guns.
Where were the police?
They didn't even have
They weren't there
guns.
for like 20 minutes or so.
Right.
Okay. So somewhere in Israel, I've been telling the rabbi this. Somewhere in Israel, you have to make these people account for that. If they're not willing to do it, we have to do it. You have to do it. And I'm not a soldier, so it would probably be somebody like you, to do it.
I'm too old. But yeah.
Well, you get it, don't you? What do you think of that?
I certainly wouldn't be surprised if somewhere that's being discussed.
I hope so.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I hope so. We're getting attacked all over the world. It's like the rabbi said to me, he says, people felt sorry for us somewhat after the Holocaust. And we kind of got a little break there, but no more. They're
Well, the Democrats, the liberals are anti-Israel. They don't love Israel. They'd like to see Israel go away.
Chuck Schumer included.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, he's a joke. So
no, he's a bad joke. He's
that's
very
true.
bad for the Jews.
Yeah, that's true. Jokes are funny, I guess. So he's not very funny. He's pathetic. And, the Jewish people have always struggled. They just want to survive and live their lives in peace. They don't want wars. Now, your viewers, they know this, but most Americans are too stupid to realize there's Muslims that live in Israel. There's Middle Easterners. They're in positions of power. They're doctors. They're members of the government.
Some are in the IDF,
and they're in the government. They're in the IDF, exactly.
Yes.
Some of them are commanders,
and they have died in this war.
Right, protecting Israel, not their religion.
Yeah. Did you see the guy in Australia who took the gun away?
Yeah, was a Muslim.
His name was Mohammed.
Right,
a Muslim.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to make this guy a hero. He probably saved a bunch of Jews.
Right.
Doing that. So we have to be able to match them or overmatch them when they pull this kind of stuff.
And we're just allowing them. Well, thankfully, Trump hasn't allowed them as much.
Well,
the Democrats that are in the
Trump wants to go. Trump, you got to say this: they're killing Christians in Nigeria and other places in Africa. He wants us to go and fight for that. I think he's got a point,
right?
Don't you?
Yeah.
Why are they killing all these Christians, for goodness sakes? Nigeria and I don't know. I can't name a African.
Somalia.
Well, Somalia they're gonna get crap because of Minnesota, right?
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
We could talk about Minnesota for a whole day. I mean, that place is a joke.
Golly.
They've changed their flag to resemble the Somalian flag.
Yeah, this is something
I
else.
went to Minneapolis 10 years ago, and I couldn't believe. I felt like I was in Somalia. I was like, there's so many Somalians at the mall. I felt like I was in a third world country. I was like, where am I? This isn't America anymore.
And apparently they've taken a bunch of maybe $7 billion out of that government, and they're finding more and more of this happening.
And that guy was almost our vice president.
Yeah.
What a clown.
He wasn't almost. I don't even think it was close.
Tampon Tim? Come on. You guys.
Yeah. What a clown.
Yeah. And this is what the Democrats, what will they have that's coming on that's even remotely.
They don't care about America, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying like the Democrat and
they hate America.
Yeah, but the National Democrats.
Now, you probably don't feel, you're from a liberal city. St. Louis is a liberal city.
Yeah, damn, you're from a liberal city.
Okay. Well,
I lived
there. I lived in Creve Coeur for a while. I ran the Creve Coeur McDonald's down the street when I first got in.
Can't say I've ever been.
Never.
Have you ever been to a McDonald's?
Is there anything you can eat there?
Well, the coffee, I think, is kosher.
A coffee. All right.
But I'll tell you, I did go into a McDonald's one time in 2006.
Yeah.
After the
That was the
Cardinals,
year.
after the Cardinals won the World Series.
Oh yeah.
So McDonald's had like they were giving out a
I was there.
CD of the Cardinal highlights from that season. So I put on a baseball cap, I went in and got a cup of coffee, and I got my
CD?
my Cardinals 2006 World Champions CD, and that's.
That's a little bit. I don't know. That's a little bit imbalanced there. I tell you. All right, look what we got here on the show. Look at we have Santa Claus, and he's not going to believe this.
He's from St. Louis as well.
Yeah, that's the Mr. Santa Claus, Mark McCluskey. Okay, so let me. I got a bunch of your buddies up here. Okay.
Yeah, who we got? I can't see.
Got 3 lawyers in the room at once.
You know, it's just too big of a challenge, right? When you got 3 lawyers in one room.
It's incredible.
You know,
Hey, Mark,
one drone strike and the world's a lot better off.
Mark, you don't remember me. My name's Jim Avery, but we met 2 years ago at the European Auto Show. I was the guy in the red Pantera next to your yellow one.
Oh yeah. No, I do remember. Yeah, absolutely.
How about that? And a gentleman also from St. Louis. His name is Dan
Lefton.
Lefton, and he's down here. Both are you running? You're not running for anything,
Nope,
right?
I'm
nope.
not running for.
He just came with me today.
He's come there. Why? To see a Jew in Rolla.
Yeah.
He didn't believe it.
He needed a microscope.
You know, if
Jim,
you
are
wore
you
your
running
yarmulke-
for something?
Huh?
Jim, are you running for something?
Yep. I'm running for state senate in northern Jefferson County.
Oh wow. Okay, great.
So, yep, I'm the Republican. There's probably going to have an opponent, but I'm a trial lawyer like you. So,
Well, let me introduce this gentleman who doesn't need an introduction. A lawyer has been all over the news along with his lawyer wife, Pat. She's not here today?
Oh, she's here, but she's kibitzing from the other side of the table.
Kibitzing. All right. Well, hi, Pat. Yeah, I hear you. You can. That makes it. Wait, how many lawyers do I got here? This is 4 lawyers on the phone at one time. I'm going to act like I'm the judge. Then what are you going to do? Okay. In 2020, he staved off an attack of his home by 350 with 2 guns and 2 words: private property. Okay. And so let's hear it for Mark and Pat McCluskey. So Dan Bongino quits the FBI.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he talked to you first.
Well, he did. You know, he got my approval. Now, you know, but you know, I thought he was an odd choice to begin with. I've never been a big fan of Trump appointing all his Fox friends. It'd be better to have people with experience and that sort of thing. But now we've got Andrew Bailey, our former attorney general, who's going to be the assistant director of the FBI now, which is yeah. So now he's bumped up, and I think that's a very good thing.
You guys know that?
I did. I think that was kind of the plan all along.
Okay. I think Bongino wanted out after a year, which is about what it's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, and if Cash cashes in, then Andrew might be the director of the FBI.
Wow. So what do you think? Is he leaving too?
You know, I don't know. You know, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt, but of course, you know, Trump doesn't like to fire people, and you know, so I know he really likes Cash Patel, so I doubt that he's going to go. But there's the same rumors about Pam Bondi and everything else. But if you're in D.C. and there's not a rumor that you're going to be fired, you're not in the right place.
There's always rumors. The only one that doesn't get rumors are you, because you are you're just amazing. Last week, Jeff Zink had a scoop. The 1-6 committee, in secret, we're trying to make the potential bomber at the Capitol, who was just arrested, by the way, as being sent by Trump. Did you hear that?
I did not, but I've heard all kinds of.
Because Zink is saying that 150 of these people were now getting their adjudication turned over to the better.
Yeah.
And that Zink's son Ryan was 56 on that list. And
Yeah, I was so upset when I wasn't on the list of the the people that the government that Arctic Frost was investigating. But 3 weeks ago, the Blaze issued an announcement that by forensic analysis of the gate of the pipe bomber, it was 99% certainty that it was this female Capitol police officer, Kirchhoff. And then when it turns out that it's not, and it's not a Capitol police officer, and it's not a girl, do you hear the Blaze apologizing and go, "Gee, we just slandered the wrong person"? There's always stuff going on.
Of course not. So who do you believe?
I don't believe. Here's a fun thing. We were up in D.C. A week ago yesterday, filing 400 or so J6ers complaints against the federal government. But the night before, I went to George Santos's Christmas party, which, by the way, was a blast. And Carrie Lake was there, and MTG, and Anna Paulina Luna, and Scott Pressler, and all the kind of people on my end of the Republican Party. And it was fun. It was the same night as the speaker's Christmas party, right? And everybody that didn't want to go see Mike Johnson or didn't want to be there very long ended up over at George Santos's party.
So you had the swinging party with the Republicans, right?
Absolutely. We were the unstuffy crowd.
Yeah, you were the unstuffy crowd. Yeah, you're kind of, what, for a guy of first of all, your house is amazing. We all know that. He actually gave me the tour of his house once. Holy cow! And something else. It's probably one of the best homes I've ever seen. In fact, it's a castle, for God's sakes.
You prefer to call it a palace.
Yeah, a palace. Okay, all right. So it was really cool. I happened to be staying at the hotel across the street, Chase Hotel.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Sonesta, Chase Park Plaza.
And he'd been on the show a couple times, so I had to. Some guys were going to beat me up on the golf course. I went to the golf course on July 4th. We didn't do the show. They had other guys doing the show, and I got in this argument with these guys. They were strangers, and Forest Park.
Okay.
And so I got out there, and I'm with these guys. They seem like they're nice guys, and I started talking about the 1/6 thing, and this guy explodes on me. I thought it was going to hit me. They're younger guys too, and I thought I was going to do a fight. And so I says, "Do you know Mark McCluskey?" Oh, that dirtbag! I'll tell you what. And that wasn't from me. That was from them. I just want you to understand that. And I says, he's a friend of mine. I know he's telling the truth about 1/6. And finally we weren't talking. So I said, "Look, I'm sorry I brought it up because I know we're here to play golf. Okay, so if you want me to leave, I'll leave. But it's going to get hot here because I'm not going to back down. And so we just might as well just play golf and leave it at that." And they did, and it got friendly at the end.
Did you beat them?
I played decent.
Yeah,
I was probably not the first. One of them was real good, but the guy that yelled at me, he sucked.
Well, we're sitting at the old Ebbets Grill in D.C. and chatting up a bunch of girls at the bar, and they're all being very nice. We're having a nice conversation, and then they figured out who we were. And it's like turning off the light switch. We're not talking to you anymore. We're out of here.
There you go. Yeah, see, he's got a reputation in St. Louis, doesn't he? And he's around Delmar Road and stuff like that. He's got to live with the Jewish community. He's very religious, correct?
Yep, he's Orthodox.
He's Jewish and he's Christian.
I'm not Jewish. I'm a Jew.
Yeah,
Jewish is
he's
a
Christian Jew.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna get lectured by Dan on the way home. Dan is my only connection.
Go all the way. Come
Dan
on.
is my only
You're
connection.
just one step away. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'll drag you across the line. No, that's not good.
Well, Addison, what's his name? Butkus.
Can you see this?
From Kansas City. His campaign manager or his chief of staff is also a Jew for Christ. Look at that. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's this gentleman here.
That was at Bill Eigel's, what unfortunately did not turn out to be a victory party, but
Yeah.
that's where we met each other.
How about that? This is crazy.
But
I didn't know this guy was coming.
I also got one in here with George Santos.
Here's a fun factoid.
I heard that now he was supposed to be a real idiot when he got kicked out of Congress, and everybody likes him now. Why?
Well, he actually is a very interesting guy. I was giving a speech up in D.C. for the Second Amendment Institute, and afterwards George showed up at the after party. Turns out that he's a big fan of ours. He and his wife went out for Halloween in 2020 dressed as us, and he had sent me a picture of him dressed as us with these crystal decanter weapons. It was pretty cool. So we've been friends ever since. But he's actually a very smart guy. He's a political buff and a history buff. He took us on a tour of the Capitol building and showed us all kinds of neat stuff. By the way, I was flying up to D.C. Recently, and Bob Onder was on the airplane with us, and I was talking to him about some of the things that even a congressman didn't know. For example, the Steve Scalise's desk, there's a bullet hole through it because sometime in the past, some Puerto Rican nationalists got in an actual gun battle in the House chambers. There's a bullet hole in the ceiling, and there's a bullet hole through Steve Scalise's desk drawer. And so the only guy in Congress that's actually got a bullet hole in him sits at the only desk in Congress that actually has a bullet hole in it.
Wow, that is a great fact to know.
And then if you're looking at the in the House chambers on the right towards the podium is a painting of Lafayette. On the left is a painting of George Washington. George Washington was originally leaning on his sword, but the woke mob thought that was too violent, so they painted out his sword. So now George Washington is leaning on nothingness.
Sort of like them now, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
How about that?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the Reiner situation. Nick Reiner's lawyers, I assume none of you here are representing him, but he's got a very big time lawyer, Jackson or something like that.
Alan Jackson, yeah.
Yeah, Alan Jackson. And the question is his parents' money being paid to defend this guy?
Interestingly, it's coming from his trust fund. And so, normally you can't make money off your own crimes. For example, if he was going to inherit from his parents after they died, since he killed them, allegedly, he can't inherit from them. But he's spending the money from the trust that was set up before their death for his benefit. And that's who he's paying Alan Jackson with. That's what he's paying Alan Jackson with.
Wow. That's incredible. I wonder what his brothers and sisters think.
I bet they don't think very highly of that.
Did you know Reiner at all?
Did I? No, I've never met him.
Yeah, okay.
When you said Alan Jackson, I thought you meant the country singer.
That's what There's also a J6 defendant that I represent.
I live in Jeffco, so that's normal.
Jackson was a J6 lawyer too?
No, not the lawyer and not the singer, but I have an Alan Jackson, same name, no, different profession.
All right. So Eric Kirk and Owens have kissed and made up apparently. Her speech last night, Erica's, was 35,000 or so in house, and I thought she was spectacular. I mean, what do you know about that? And you still have a theory that Robinson, is it Kyle or whatever his name?
Tyler
is not the actual shooter. Are you still sticking with that?
Well, interestingly, you brought that up. I brought some props today. This is a 223 shell. This is what an AR-15 shoots.
All right. You pay attention, you guys in the Army.
I know what a 223 is.
This is a 30-06 shell here, right? This is from my Springfield rifle. This is from my AR-15. The concept that this gigantic round going at 3,000 feet per second is going to be diverted by Charlie Kirk's neck. And originally they were floating the story that the operating room surgeon said, oh, he's a really strong guy, his really strong muscles and his really strong neck bones diverted this 30 caliber bullet going 3,000 feet per second down into his chest. And that's why, we didn't have any bullet coming out the backside. There was no exit wound, all this kind of stuff. None of the alleged facts, this is Candace Owens says this all the time, so I'm not breaking any news, but none of the alleged facts make any sense. The concept, when they first broke the story on us and they showed us a video of this guy walking stiff-legged down the road, telling he was walking stiff-legged because he had a rifle in his pants leg. But then they show you the pictures of him walking up the stairs on the way to the rooftop, and he's bending his knees, right?
Yeah.
And I tried sticking. I've got a Mini 14 223 rifle with a scope on it. I tried to stick that down my pants leg. It's 4 inches shorter than the gun he was using, and it goes from my armpit and comes out the bottom of my pant leg, right? And you can't walk up the stairs with that rifle in your pant leg. So then they came up with a story that he took it apart, reassembled it on the roof, put the scope on it. Of course, you can't zero in the scope because you don't have any test rounds. Fired off one shot, which hit Charlie in the neck, took the rifle apart, put it in his backpack, climbed off the roof, put the rifle back together, and left it in the woods across the street. A story that makes absolutely no sense, and anybody that knows guns knows that Mauser 98 doesn't disassemble like that.
What do you think about that, Jim?
I actually can't disagree. It's very odd.
Yeah, it is odd.
And the fact that
what was he doing, sitting out there in the middle of this thing with a low roof just behind him like that? I mean, Charlie, what about his people? Does that pretend to any of them too?
Well, when you've got Erica Kirk saying that if you ask any questions, you're a hater, and you've got Kash Patel saying there's nothing more to see, it seems very suspicious. We don't have an autopsy report. We don't even know where his body's buried. If this Tyler Robinson guy actually goes to trial, don't you think his lawyers might want to have that body exhumed? Might want to see the autopsy report? Where's the ballistics report? Where's the bullet?
Yeah.
This 30 caliber round is not going to disintegrate when it goes through flesh. That bullet ended up someplace.
Yeah.
Forensics
would the entry point and the exit point.
Yeah. And
about that?
Yeah. And even these little 220. One of my buddies when he was in Vietnam had a very bad experience. He was doing guard duty and a patrol went out and came back in. And when the patrol came back in, he thought it was VC. So he put off a round. This little 223 went through 3 guys and killed them all. Right. And so that's you expect when it's only going through flesh for the bullet to travel right through you. But a 30 caliber bullet going through the neck, right where we saw the blood coming out, that's where it hit him. Then that bullet's not going to stop. That bullet's going to be embedded somewhere in the background, somewhere in another person, if there's a person behind it, if it's really a 30-06 round that shot him. So none of this stuff makes any sense. That and the fact that they destroyed and reconfigured the crime scene within days.
Why did they do that?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah. And yet, you're not allowed to ask those questions.
Stuff, asphalt and stuff like that, and re-asphalting it. And come on, what is that?
Yeah. I mean, and it's no different than the Crooks guy that shot Trump in Butler County. I mean, they're washing down the crime scene with a hose, posing all the pictures.
Well, they killed him and they burned his body.
Yeah, right before they could. It makes you suspicious. And Dave, I've said this in your program a half a dozen times. The government now has so little respect for us as human beings. They believe we're all so goddamn stupid that they don't even attempt to make believable lies anymore. They will now tell us things which are just obviously nonsense, and then say if you question it, there's something wrong with you, not something wrong with the investigation.
This goes back even further than this, but more in the modern history mode is John F. Kennedy.
Yeah,
his assassination, and Lee Harvey Oswald was probably not the guy that shot him.
Well, I had on my radio program. I
got his old girlfriend on my show.
Yeah, we've had her on my show too.
Judith, right?
Yeah.
Now she's disappeared. By the way, what did you do with her?
She's in a trunk in my back room.
Your wife's sitting right there, and you got this other woman in the trunk. Sad.
Well, why have we never heard anything about the criminal that shot Charlie Kirk? Like, you just don't hear about him on the news.
Well, you've seen him in court. The actual guy that they've arrested, right?
They say killed him.
And they cite these messages he allegedly sent to his transgender friend.
Correct.
And that's about it. But what do you want out of them?
Well, the text messages, right? Where he says, "Hey, do you remember when I was writing on those cartridges?"
Yeah.
Who would actually say that, right? The text messages are sound very suspicious to me. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jeff.
No, I was just, you just don't hear about it, and it's odd. I mean,
We went to court.
The guy that killed the healthcare executive, they're posting
Oh
pictures
yeah,
of him.
Margiano.
They
or
talk
something.
about him all the time. Like, why don't we hear anything about this guy that killed Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, if he did, and
Yeah.
Well, I
Allegedly
think, and allegedly his parents, who were conservatives, turned him over.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And you hear all kinds of stuff. I mean, I happened to be on the telephone when Charlie got shot with a J6er, who was also on the phone at the same time with another J6er that was working for Charlie Kirk there at the scene. And I heard contemporaneously with when it happened that he'd been hit in the neck and that he was dead. I mean, and he would have been dead before he hit the ground.
Yeah.
Then you hear all this stuff about, he's still alive when he's in the emergency room and they're doing CPR on him and all that sort of thing. And then you hear, then they got Mikey McCoy's phone records got disclosed in that conference between Erica and Candace Owens. And it turns out that unlike what he said, Mikey McCoy didn't call Erica first. He called his brother and his
I
brother,
saw that.
and then has a 10-minute conversation in the middle of which he brings in Erica for a minute and a half. Oh, by the way, Erica, your husband's just been shot. I'll talk to you later. I'm talking to my wife on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the people there, but he screws up all the times, and that's kind of an official thing you wouldn't want to do.
Yeah.
Especially something that's being investigated like that.
Yeah, and then they, there's all this stuff that you don't.
Tell me more. What's the progress of the 1-6ers?
Well, I delivered complaints. Well, the form SF-95, which is a prerequisite for starting the time clicking on your federal claims, for about 400 of these guys. I hand delivered it to Justice last Wednesday, and filed them against the DOJ, FBI, Bureau of Prisons, U.S. Marshal Service, and Capitol Police. And then we've also got Metro, which is a non-federal entity, DC Metro Police, and we're bringing 1983 actions against them as well. The way it works is that in order to sue the government or governmental agency, you've got to file the form SF-95 or its functional equivalent. The government then gets 6 months to decide whether to pay the claim or give you a right to sue. If they either give you a right to sue letter or they do nothing for 6 months, then the claimant has 6 months to file the actual lawsuit. And so that's got the time clock ticking. And that's what we wanted to do is to, when we had started filing these things earlier last summer for people whose statute of limitations was running, the Justice Department was finding every kind of spurious excuse to kick them back. They wanted a wet ink signature. If we were doing it as their attorney, they wanted a copy of the representation agreement. They said that our forms didn't comply with the requirements, all kinds of stuff, which was just not in the regs and not in the statute. And so we, with a big tranche of stuff I filed last week, we complied with all their kind of spurious demands to make it, in the format that they would accept. Haven't heard anything back from them. The one thing is that you go there, first of all, the DOJ, the Civil Division, and the Federal Tort Claims Division is at 175 N Street Northeast, nice new office building. But you can't deliver the documents there. They make you go around the back to another building at 30 M Street, and there's a loading dock there. And you go in the loading dock, you open up a door, and there's a guard sitting there with a metal detector. So we get there, and we talk to the guard. He brings out his boss, and they bring out the boss from the mailroom for the DOJ. And they say, okay, just bring them in. I had to do an interview with the Bloomberg out front. And so 10, 15 minutes worth of talking to Bloomberg. Then I go back in with my hand truck and all these 5 boxes of documents, 5 bankers' boxes of documents. New guy at the desk. You can't file those here. He brings out the boss from behind. No, we can't. You can't file those here. Had to go through the whole process again. But when I was trying to set this up to make sure that I didn't go there in vain, I called the director of the Civil Division. He didn't return my call. I called the director of the Federal Tort Claims section. He never returned my call. Finally, a guy returns my call, and I say, "Thank you for returning my call. Who am I talking to?" He says, "I can't tell you." Well, you won't tell me your name? You can say that you were contacted by a male administrator, right? This is close to identifying himself as he'd give me. And I think that male stuff might have been a little ambiguous as well. But, that's our new transparent Department of Justice.
All right, real quick, I want to get to this. It's probably going to be the last thing because time is running out. Ryan Zink, he was under Judge Beesberg. Is that correct?
Boasberg, yeah, Boasberg.
Yeah. Now, what was he charged with?
Well, he got charged with a number of felonies, including the 1512 obstruction charge. But you know, the thing about Ryan is the only thing he did was film agents provocateur. He never went in the Capitol building.
Right.
They sold his indictment to the grand jury, claiming that he was a mastermind of the insurrection.
Didn't they accuse him of murdering a?
Said he was personally responsible for the death of Capitol Officer Brian Sicknick.
Was there charges brought to that?
First day of trial, the government admits that not only did he have nothing to do with organizing anything, he had nothing to do with the death of Officer Sicknick, and more than that, he was never even in the Capitol building.
Right.
Which they then moved to dismiss, right? And Boasberg says essentially, look, you're guilty. You can put on your defense if you want to, but you're guilty.
Of what?
Of whatever they want to say. I mean, I've got hundreds of these guys now.
All right, so what's happening to Beesberg? Allegedly, he's being impeached, which means practically nothing.
Until we have 60 senators, it means nothing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, Bob Onder told me he was going to introduce articles of impeachment. Another congressman already has. But, you know, once again, it's an exercise in futility.
Okay. So other than Dave Weinbaum show, where can people find you and hire you?
McCloskeylaw.com, McCloskeylaw.com. My personal cell phone is 314-580-3185. The office is 314-721-4000. And if you want to catch me, all my old shows are on Rumble. I'm not broadcasting anymore because I didn't have the time based on my J6 stuff. But it's McCloskey USA on X and Mark McCloskey on Fire on Rumble. So if I'm doing nothing but J6 right now, but if you've got a good case, I'll make an exception for you.
Thank you. Why are you looking at me in particular?
I was looking at Jim.
So Irish drinkers toasts. May your brain cells be replaced faster than the whiskey destroys them. How's that?
What?
You owe me a whiskey. You owe me a whiskey. Not letting you get away with that. All right. Thank you so
all right,
much.
Take care, guys. Good luck,
Pat. Thank you for your contribution today. Pat, you there?
Oh, thank you. All right.
I want to see you sometime.
All right.
Get on the show, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Great to talk to you. Have a great weekend, a great Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, we got 2+ minutes. Closing arguments. What do you got? What do you want to say, sir?
Happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friend Dan Lefton.
Happy Hanukkah to you too.
Happy Hanukkah.
And happy Hanukkah to you, maybe.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
I don't even know how to spell Hanukkah.
Yeah.
That's how non-Jewish I am. Sorry, Dan.
It's like this one guy. You ever see the guy that does the ventriloquist Durham?
Yep.
Yeah, and he's got the skeleton up there who is the Ahmed, yeah. Yeah,
The terrorist.
and he keeps telling him it's not Ahmed, it's Ahmed.
That's right.
It's funny. The guy's funny too.
He is. I think he's coming to St. Louis.
Is he? I'll go
I think
see
so,
him.
yeah.
Oh, I tried to play his clips once, and they clipped me out. So they did.
Closing argument is Jim Avery's a great guy.
Thanks.
Great.
So we should maybe vote for him.
He's a hero. Conservative values.
I'm voting for him. Wait, can I vote for you?
I wish you could. You're not a Democrat, so you can't.
And he also cares for the working man.
Meaning you don't live in my district, so if you're a Democrat, you could vote anywhere you want.
I could always move there. I could always go up there and live there for a while.
Open up a McDonald's in Jeffco.
Jeffco, yeah, I think there's somewhere there. There's a few down there.
A couple.
Yes, okay, and I know all the guys who run them too. All right, so gentlemen, I don't know what to say, but you still got a minute to go. All right, so
thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
I will thank you for being here, and I wish you all the best. Shalom, Aleichem, Shalom,
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Yes.
Well, in quick breaking news, this is from Dan Bongino's page. A liberal judge, Wisconsin judge, has now been found guilty of felony obstruction by helping illegal alien evade arrest. Could face as much as 5 years in prison. We'll see where that goes.
Let's hope she gets 5 years.
We need to have people like both of you, and the ones in Congress who are gonna speak up and not fall for the crap that's been going on. And you're the guy for that.
Jim Avery.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And
my website is for my campaign is jimavery.com.
Okay.
And I'm a personal injury lawyer, so I'll give a quick plug, averyinjurylaw.com.
All right. Well, you're about to injure the clock here because we got to leave. We're not going to be here for the day after Christmas. Okay. We'll be back later in January. Have a great Christmas.